Chillin' with Larry Megan.
All right, here we are. We're chilling with Larry Megan on a Thursday night. Great night tonight over at Shop NBC. And, I had to rush straight home here. We're going to have a nice episode of Chilling with Larry Megan tonight. You all know my special guest tonight is going to be Allison Waggoner. And it's kind of funny, Allison was not scheduled to do the watch shows tonight at Shop. And it turns out there was a change of schedule. And then she's in there doing the watch shows. So she was hosting me, and now here we are an hour later or so, and I'm hosting her. So just kind of strange the way things work out. Now, before we get into the meat of our show, a few things here. If you're new to Acorn TV, then please click on the Facebook button over on the right-hand side of the page. And Ronnie, I just want to make sure. Hold on a second. Is everything stream going out okay? Yeah. Because yeah, I'm not seeing anything over here, so I want to make sure the stream is going out. You guys make sure they got me out there in the studio, in the green room. Okay, I don't know what's going on over here, but let's refresh. I just want to make sure that everybody's getting the stream. By the way, I was going to say, like us on the Facebook page. Here we go. I guess the computer froze up. That's all. Okay, like I said, like us over on the Facebook page. Click the Facebook button, like our Acorn TV page, and tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're going to give away a couple of nice movie tickets and to AMC theaters, and we're going to give it to what we feel is the most interesting question, particularly for Allison tonight, or the best question. And you're going to send your questions in on our Facebook page. We've got Stacia and Maddie and Eric all out there in the green room area. And they're going to be monitoring those questions, and they're going to be bringing them into us, and we're going to take those questions. Of course, you can always call into the studio. You see the number right below our screen here. And also, you can, if you have video Skype, you can Skype us at Acorn TV as well. But be sure to like our Acorn TV Facebook page. Also, if you would, click on the Twitter button and follow us on Twitter. We do put out show alerts on the Twitter. And then finally, we'd like you to share this feed. So if you have a Facebook page, please click on that little share button and share this feed to your Facebook page and help us spread the word. Now, as I mentioned tonight, our guest is Allison Waggoner, host at Shop NBC. I've known Allison for a number of years now. I've kind of lost track, and she's always a pleasure to work with. She really knows her watches, and I know you guys out there really know that. And also tonight in the Classic Film Zone, we're going to have Barbara Rosene out there in my old hometown, Manhattan. And she's going to bring us Cover Girl from 1944 with Gene Kelly and Rita Hayworth. And if you're a lover of old classic films, stick around for that. You're going to really like that. Now, before we get to Barbara, we're getting into, the meat of the American Idol and The Voice seasons here. And you guys out there who know me, I love these singing competitions, probably because I can't sing a note, and I just wish I could sing. But I love these competitions. I watch the X Factor all season. And right now I'm kind of really into The Voice. But American Idol is getting interesting. On The Voice, this week they had their final blind auditions. And I thought it was interesting, before we get into the actual start of the competition and what they call their battle rounds, that we show one clip, and it's not a long clip, but I thought it was interesting because it was the final contestant that was chosen in the overall competition. Her name was Sara Hill, and it was Christina Aguilera who needed one more person, and Christina was being really picky, and she was making everybody stick around, and she was just listening to singer after singer until she turned her chair around, and then she got so inspired, she actually, maybe you saw the clip, she got up and sang with her. So I thought we'd take a quick look at that as we go into the singing competition season. And as we go into it, we're going to kind of cover the season a little bit. So let's check this out.
Time on my head since you've been away, boy. I ain't got no plans. No, 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 no. And the sound of the rain against my window pane is slowly driving me insane. Oh boy, and I'm going down. I'm going down.
something to come along and excite me as much as you did, and you did that to the point where at the end I just wanted to grab a mic and get up there and sing it with you because I love that song.
Oh my God, please do. I'm going, come on. Oh.
Can I get it?
Come on.
Okay.
Whoa!
Here we go. I'm going down.
Let's sing it together.
Yes.
Band, we're just doing the chorus because I don't know the whole song.
I'm going down, 'cause you went around, baby. My whole world upside down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on, Sarah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Upside down.
Yes! She's mine! Team Messina! Team Messina, what? All right.
All right. Well, listen, we never saw that before on The Voice. This is only the second season where the coach just got up out of the chair and went up there and sang with her. I think part of it was because it was the final contestant chosen. All the teams are now set. This year they have 12 singers on each of the coaches' team. And we're going to talk a little bit about this just a little bit more later in the show. Blake got a very interesting contestant on the show who's my favorite, and we'll check that out. But on American Idol, I've been watching, the preliminaries, the auditions, and the Hollywood Week and all that. And I've been saying this season on American Idol seems like they're really deep with talent, although I thought that in the first two nights there were some people that didn't do as well as they had done previously. Maybe they were nervous. And I certainly had one guy that was my favorite of the whole show, and I knew he wasn't going to win because he's a very jazzy style singer. But I didn't expect to get him kicked off tonight on the first night, man. That's unbelievable. His name was Reed Grimm, and this guy had a lot of talent. He played the drums, he played guitar and piano. I mean, the guy was doing everything, and he kind of jazzed up everything he did, and I guess that ultimately is what got him kicked off in the first night. But they're down now to the top 13. They went from 25 to 13 tonight, so 12 people got hacked off the show right away. Some pretty good talent went away, but they're left with some pretty good talent. But anyway, I was pulling for Reed Grimm. I don't know if you're following it this year. We'll follow the show, little by little all the way through the season now. But I thought since my guy got kicked off, and hey, man, if I don't dig the jazz guy, who's going to, So let's check out Reed Grimm, and we'll say farewell to Reed, and then we're going to move on.
Get ready, America. With moves like Jagger, we're about to unleash Reed Grimm.
You shoot for the stars. If it feels right, aim for my heart. If you feel like and take me away, make it okay. Well, I swear I'll behave. Well, you wanna control, so we waited. I put on a show. Now we're naked. You say I'm a kid. My ego is big. I don't get. Then it goes like this. Well, take me by the tongue and I know you. Well, kiss me till you're drunk and I'ma show you on the moon like Jagger. Got the moves like Jagger. The moon, whoa, 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 yeah. I don't need to try to control you, baby. Just look into my eyes and I own you with the moon. Take me by the tongue and I will know you. Kiss me till you're drunk and I'ma show you all the moves.
Well, there you have it. That was my pick as the top guy going in, and shows you what I know. Reed is gone. He's out of here. So they have their top 13. It should be exciting. I say look out for Jessica Sanchez and Shannon McGrane. Those are my two favorites now. Now that Reed's out, I'm going for the ladies. All right, so we'll follow a little bit, The Voice and American Idol as we go through the season. Now, tonight we really have a cool guest. It's, as I mentioned before, a friend of mine from Shop NBC. I've done a lot of shows with Allison. And, in preparing for this show, I really found that Allison has done quite a bit, not just at Shop NBC, but her home shopping background, her marketing background. Here she is, Allison Waggoner. Allison, welcome to Chillin' with Larry Megan.
Glad to be here. I love that you did a little Davy Jones.
Well, he just passed away.
I know. I like that you're doing it. It's a huge tribute. I mean, growing up, this is what we did. We did a little Davy Jones. I'm honored for you to have me here. Really, I am. You know how I feel about this.
Well, that's cool, Allison. Big background on you, We're going to get into a lot of these things.
Yeah.
But, one thing I did not know until...
Oh, no.
No, really.
It's got wait, did you just hear all the papers rustle?
No. One thing I did not know in preparing for this show, I knew you've been at Shop NBC, but I really did not know that you were at HSN.
I was at HSN. I was at HSN for several years as a guest. And that's actually how I got into the business, and then later as a host. So, it started off years ago, but I was actually in the chocolate business. And I don't know how far you want to go back into this, but it's interesting because I think, myself not having a background in TV has really helped sometimes because I just go out and say it like it is. And I think you see that more than anything, Larry. I mean, like I just said, I walked in tonight and said, boy, have the tables turned, because an hour or two ago we were on air together. I'm kind of interviewing you. Now you're interviewing me. But I think that's what makes live TV good, is when it's not too scripted or when it's not too rehearsed.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things I really like. I enjoy doing live. Everything I do is live.
Yeah, because I'm smooth as silk.
No, not so much that. But the thing is this, you go from doing live, with home shopping for so many years, and then you go into a situation where you're going to record something or tape it, and I'm sorry, it's just not the same.
No, and what big misnomer is I cannot read off of a teleprompter. People ask me all the time, is it rehearsed? Do you all, try to figure out, what, do you have a script that you go through? And no, it is not. It is all out, whatever comes to your mind and what you know about the product. And I think that's really interesting, because a lot of people think that what we do, it's like teleprompted, it's scripted out.
Yeah, people ask that all the time. Did you memorize the script? Is there a script? There's no script.
No. Some days I wish there was, because some days I'm, I mean, and then the funniest thing too is that, you try so hard, or I do, I guess I should say, is to really let people know what we see and we touch and we feel. And I think the watches are a really good thing, because, you don't know when you're looking at that TV if it's heavy or if it's light, and we try to do that, and sometimes I know it sounds goofy, but we try to do it the best we can. Well,
Allison, so you were at Home Shopping Network as a guest or a host, or both?
I did both. I started off as a guest. Do you want me to kind of go into the story a little bit? I will.
Oh, you were a guest first?
I was a guest first. Actually, I was never supposed to be on television. I was a vice president of marketing and product development. We did branding for a chocolate company. And we had a very small brand that we did that was my grandfather's brand, was Harry London. It was going to go on the air at HSN. And literally a couple days before the whole thing went down, the guest that we had planned to go on air got sick. I was out in California. I said, that's no problem. I can go on. I can do that. That's easy peasy, which everybody thinks, which I think is interesting. Everyone says, I can do that. And flew out. I did the show. It was like 5 o'clock at night. It was a live show, and I was awful. The buyer came down and said, this is the single worst hour of food we have ever had. And I said, well, I'll do better at the next show, because now I'm kind of like, okay, I get what it is. It's live TV. And it was different because all I had known was brick and mortar retail.
Right.
And so she said, we're not going to let you go on again. That's it. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, I can't risk putting you back on and everything not selling. And I said, I tell you what, I'll make you a deal. If it doesn't sell, I will take all of the inventory back. And then I kind of knew what I needed to do is just tell it from the heart and tell it like it was. We went on later that night. We sold everything out, and then I just started doing the guesting for that brand amongst my other jobs there. So.
But now that brand was in Ohio, right?
That brand was in Ohio. That was Harry London's, and it is still in Ohio. It is owned by 1-800-Flowers now.
Okay, but HSN is in Florida.
HSN is in Florida. So when I was guesting, I would fly in to do the
chocolates.
The chocolates.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the question I have, don't look, just look at me.
I cannot believe who is in the screen.
Just shut up.
Yes.
Okay, you're supposed to just look at me, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
No, you said I'm not supposed to look at you.
No, but now
I
want
know
you
that
to,
mug.
Okay. You see, you ruined it now.
No, I know.
You ruined it.
No, I didn't.
All right. Well, anyway, what I'm saying is, okay, so they asked you to host it. Did you move down there?
I did at the time. I took a job hosting. They were short of a host, and they needed a host to come down, and I did.
All right. Now, when you did that,
yes, sir,
you left the chocolate company.
I did because at that.
And the chocolate company is owned by your grandfather.
It was owned by my grandfather, and then it was sold, and I still worked for the company after it had sold.
Okay, and so when your grandfather sold it or passed away,
yes,
then who took it over?
My father and my mother.
I see, and they had you and your brother
and then my
and
sister, my brother, and I.
Okay, and you guys were actually making the chocolates?
Yes, we made a lot of chocolates. There are thousands of pounds of candy. Although I have to say that there was one person that made all the chocolates.
And who was that?
My brother Joe.
And so is he your older brother?
He is my older brother.
And did he?
He's wiser and better looking too.
And did Joe keep you in line?
He did keep me in line. He did very often kept me in line.
Okay, so when you went on HSN to sell the chocolates,
yes,
and you said they didn't sell.
They didn't sell really.
Did Joe give you a hard time about that?
Everybody gave me a hard time. I don't think I was ever supposed to be on television. It just kind of happened.
Okay, so did Joe upset you because you weren't doing good, or what?
Did he upset me? I don't know.
No.
My brother gives me a hard time. I cannot believe I'm looking up.
Why don't we ask him? We got your brother Joe on the line right now.
Hey, Joe.
Here he is.
Look at him. How good looking are you?
Hey, you know what? If I knew I was going to get you, I probably would have gone to the other channel.
Hey, how did you get involved in this?
Well,
I got the call, and I said, hey, I was going to be flash mob, but, it was only going to be me.
Well, Allison kind of ruined the surprise, Joe. We had it all.
I saw your big face up there.
We had it all, hooked up and ready to go, and she kind of peeked, and she got a look before we brought you on. I really wanted to shock her. So, all right, you guys, tell me about what happened in the chocolate business. Were you her boss, Joe?
Oh, gosh. Alice knows a lot about politics. Her sister and I always won. So, yeah. Right, Allison?
Yes, I think that's what you say, that I knew everything about everything.
That's right.
And and I will owe you big tomorrow, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, seriously, growing up in the chocolate business is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, my brother is continued on. He has Waggoner chocolates now, but my brother is very meek, but he
wait a minute, what did you say?
He's meek. I mean, he's humble. I mean, my brother has done things to the chocolate industry with machinery, with formulations that still go on today, or that are huge. I mean, for so many different companies. And I mean, you're looking at a guy, I mean, I know he's looking at me like I'm crazy now, but I mean, this is a guy who's really changed a lot for the industry, for the chocolate industry.
Wow.
I'm so happy to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Well, Ronnie, let's see if we can get Allison and her brother Joe in a nice side-by-side or vertical split, whatever.
I'm much better looking, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I have more hair. How's that?
So, Joe, tell us a little bit about your chocolate business. I mean, what are these chocolate filled? Are they using dark and milk? I mean, tell us about your business, Joe.
Oh, gosh. When we transitioned out of our old company, Allison had some really great opportunities and started Waggoner chocolates. And we make over 300 flavors again, all high-quality chocolates made fresh for the industry.
Wow.
And it's really, once you have good chocolate, I heard somebody say the other day that they had actually gone into the store, they purchased other brands for years and years and years and years, and they finally had our chocolate, and they literally came out and said, I never really realized how good chocolate can be. So
that's awesome. Well, what's funny is on Thanksgiving, Allison went out of her way to make sure that I was going to attend over at Shop NBC their Thanksgiving dinner, and I really appreciated that. I was really touched.
We made dinner at the studio.
And so I wanted to bring her a gift of something just to show her how much I appreciated her doing that. And I had no idea she came from the chocolate business or and I bought her a box of chocolate.
And I ate them all. and my brother will tell you that actually when it comes to sweets, I have no willpower. So trust me, Larry, I ate them all.
I know, but I mean, I'm embarrassed now because they were kind of cheap.
No, they were good.
They were from Costco. I mean,
but Joe makes turtles. These caramel pecan things that what did I send you? Okay, I didn't know you were calling in. What did I send you an email for today?
Turtles. Oh, by the way, I'll send you the bill too.
Thanks, Joe.
So tell me, Joe, what kind of a job did Allison do for the company on HSN?
Wow.
Way back when?
Oh my gosh, she was spectacular in selling chocolates, and that was back in the day when we were really the first company to ever introduce chocolates on air like that, and it was a complete flop at the beginning, and it took quite a bit of convincing to get us all as a company to go back and do it again, but we did it, and we grew the business quite successfully.
Yeah.
With your help, a lot of it.
I would think that would be really tough because the chocolate can melt. You have to ship it in an ice pack or something like that.
And Joe can speak to this. I think that's a challenge, that a lot of, but I think that goes back to the product too, because one of the things, Joe, and I'll kind of refer to you on this, but most of the people that are making product right now, that are making confection products now, use so many fillers, and I mean, people don't realize that chocolate is a commodity, and you have to buy futures out. You have to buy it, and if you don't put all the great ingredients, you're using fillers, it's more stable to ship. When you're shipping really great product like what we did and what my brother does, it's an overnight thing. You need to get it there. And Joe, am I saying that right?
Yeah, no, you're right. When's the last time you had a bad product, or you have the food side of the business? If you even cook a bad meal at home, you say, "Oh gosh, do I really want to do that again?" But when it comes down to eating cookies right out of the oven, a lot of truth to be had to making products fresh and getting them out to the consumers as fast as you possibly can.
I think that's why Joe's so successful now is Joe knows most every one of his customers, large corporations and small people that either come into his retail store or, on the corporate side. I mean, Joe is hands-on in all aspects.
Now, can both of you, either one of you, do you remember your grandfather? He died fairly young, right?
I do remember my grandfather. I remember, and Joe, you might remember this. Do you remember one time we were at his house and we were told not to go play in the front yard, and we did, and I fell and I cut my hand. I still have the scar on my hands.
Yeah, Harry London.
He was a great man.
I had those little kickballs you have that are really kind of lightweight.
Yeah.
Well, we used to always go in and make cookies with my grandmother and ice them, and Harry would be sitting in the chair in the living room. We'd always go sit on his lap. But it was back in the day, we have weed whippers now and all that other stuff that trims grass. Well, this was when they first came out with little clipper things, that go like this.
Yeah.
Yeah? You got that? So
yeah, I got it.
Yeah, you kind of thing.
I like that you do that. Now everyone knows where I get my hand movements from on air.
Well...
So, anyway, long story short, I got my ball stuck in the tree, and he actually lived at a lake. And I took these clippers, and I threw them as hard as I could up in the tree, and they were brand new. This was like state-of-the-art technology back then.
I remember this.
I missed on the first shot for the ball, so I threw them back up as hard as I could the next time. And the clippers went all the way up through the tree and right into the lake, and I felt so bad.
Well,
he was a good guy.
One of the things Allison told me before the show, which was kind of shocking, she said that your grandfather kind of, and I don't know if invented is the right word, but he created the idea or the notion that chocolates would be given as gifts.
They.
How did you say that, Alice?
Well, my grandfather was one, I think, and Joe, correct me if I'm wrong here, but he was the first one that I know of that did the wrapped chocolates as a gift. And that was one of the things, how he started the business, was he made chocolates, individually wrapped them, and gave them away as gifts. Joe?
Yeah, he did that, and that was back in the day when they actually sold the chocolates right out of the house.
Yeah.
People would come and knock on the front door, and they'd say, hey, we need to get chocolates for X, Y, and Z, and pick them up and leave.
And this was what, in the 40s, the 50s?
Oh gosh, that would have been pre-1954.
Yeah,
because Harry's house burnt down in 1953.
So it would have been in the late 40s, early 50s. And Joe, tell them about what he did with the house and the house next door.
Oh yeah, they actually had the original house, and they turned it into the factory. And if you see some of the pictures, when the house burned down, they had literally like a 20-foot pile of packaging out in the front yard.
Yeah.
But then they took the basements and actually, he bought the house next door and the one next door to it. And he lived in one, did the accounting in the other, and then connected the basement so that the cooling tunnels and things were long enough. So when you looked at it from the outside,
it looked like two houses.
Yeah, but this is, you go back to the early 30s.
Yeah. So there was a tunnel underneath the two houses.
Yeah.
So that they'd have a long enough space to build a cooling tunnel. It was probably totally illegal at the time, maybe. I don't know. Was it, do you think?
Well, they actually, one of the newspaper articles that I actually still have to this day, the print the next day was, this is why we need to have zoning laws.
this is exactly right. Yeah, this is your brain on, yeah.
Right.
Well, before I let you go, Joe, one of the notes that our associate producer came up with on Allison says when she was younger, she played a lot of athletics with her brother, and she was a tomboy. Now, is that true?
That is true.
Oh, gosh. You know what? She was...
I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah, you know what? She always wanted to, it was... she's pretty hard-headed. And I'll tell you, we used to go ice skating, and my older sister and I told her real quick that the ice wasn't safe. And, boy, she had to just stand up and walk straight out on it, and she fell right in. So, yeah, she learned the hard way.
Yeah, tell them about my sledding, Joe. I'm a proficient sledder.
Yeah, like sliding down the hill, and I walked in front of her thinking, oh, this is great, I'll just jump right over. And,
wow.
Yeah, so I jumped up, but boy, she was really coming fast.
And so I actually bit the cement, knocked out my teeth and everything.
Wow.
Joe is great because we lived on this little like lake pond, and every time that he would be missing, like one of his friends, like to fill out the hockey team, like I would get the call and I would be like the goalie. Like I broke my wrist. I broke my wrist. I've lost teeth. But it was great. I wouldn't change it. And then we had a little like a what would you say, like a little yard beside a little, like, what do you call, like a little meadow beside the house or a little yard, and they used to play kickball and football, and it was great. We had a great.
And that was in Canton?
That was in Canton, yeah.
You know, Canton's a big football town. You know that, right, Joe?
Yeah, Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's a great town for football, and pretty amazing to see the activities that go on around here for sure.
Well, pretty amazing, you know, how through your grandfather to your parents to you guys, you're still in the chocolate business. Now, do you have anybody that's in line after you, Joe, to keep it going? Or I know it's not Harry London anymore, but now it's Waggoner, right?
It is Waggoner Chocolates. You know, we are actually growing very, very quickly again, but controlled growth. And from a succession planning standpoint, boy, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if any of the kids in the family are going to want to take this over or not at any time.
They're are they a little bit chocolated out?
Larry, you never get chocolated out.
Well, I happen to like dark chocolate.
I'm 21 again this year.
Do you guys do the darks, Joe, or just milk chocolate?
Oh gosh, we do all kinds. You know, once you have really great dark chocolate,
you don't ever want to go.
Yeah.
I'm totally a dark chocolate guy all the way.
I'll give you some dark chocolate.
Well, what I was going to just ask you now, then before I let you go, is if I wanted to try Waggoner chocolate and buy it, where would I buy it? Is it in the stores? Is it through your website? I mean, how do someone buy Waggoner chocolate?
Yeah, easiest way is to go to the website at waggonerchocolates.com, and you get there's like free shipping tickets on there and things like that as well.
Oh, your website's up. It looks good, Joe.
Oh yeah. No, we're making some progress. You know, we went through the school of hard knocks at the other company when we sold it in 2003. So it was. I really enjoy having this smaller business now.
So you ship all over the country. So what is the web address again? It's
waggonerchocolates.com.
2 G's and 1 N, right?
Yes, Ggoner.
ONERS.
Waggonerchocolate.com, folks.
Yeah.
Boy, Stacia was quick on that.
Yeah, believe it or not, we just actually shipped our first containers this year over to China. So we're back in China, Japan now, and selling chocolates around the world, literally.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for joining us on the show. And
thanks, Joey. What a nice surprise.
Hey, thanks. It was great, and good luck to everybody there.
Thanks. I'll call you tomorrow.
All right,
Bye.
good. See you guys.
Thanks, Joe.
Oh, I love him.
Okay.
I love him.
Yeah.
My brother is, that's a really nice surprise. Thank you, Larry.
I saw you earlier tonight.
Well, I looked up on the screen.
I had it in my mind and everything. And I didn't want to
him.
say a word. I wanted it to be a total surprise.
No, I love my brother and I love my sister. My brother is amazingly talented. He is the funniest man I know. He has the funniest sense of humor. Man, is he funny. So I'm glad to see him. It was a nice surprise.
Next, we have your first grade teacher on the line.
Oh, yeah. Sister Anne Marie, who ended up being my second grade teacher.
I was
she
only
moved
kidding.
up.
Okay.
No, trust me. She's probably out there watching going,
That's pretty funny.
Thank you. What a great surprise.
Yeah, we try. Yeah. We try.
Yeah, the chocolate business is cool, and you know, I miss it a lot, but I think that's where a lot of I think, you know, when you're in a family business like that, and even through today, I really care about what everybody buys, you know, whether we do watches. I really want them, and I think that's just, you see that when you're in a business like that for so long.
Now, on Shop NBC, I remember there were some companies that were doing like chocolate pretzels, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of small companies, a lot of boutique companies.
But I mean, on Shop, have you had the opportunity to host where you were selling some chocolate?
I have, and it's kind of fun because, you know,
But I mean, don't you kind of go like, oh, this isn't as good as what we do?
Well, you know, it's funny because it's just like anything else. You know, you heard me talk a little bit about with my brother, but I'm a huge foodie, and this is one of
foodie?
I'm a huge foodie. This is one of the things that my brother, we touched on a little bit. When you start to understand good quality, you know, like my brother used to buy. You know, chocolate is a commodity. Cacao beans are a commodity, and you have to buy them out early, and you have to buy good quality. So it is hard. It's like once you fall in love with your favorite steak, you compare everything to it. Like, oh, remember when we went to this steakhouse or that steakhouse? And so I think for me, it's the same with chocolate. But I can appreciate all kinds of chocolate. How's that?
All right. Well, like I said, once I
can't believe you got my brother on the phone.
Yeah, well, like
that was cool.
Well.
That was really
Thank
cool.
you, thank you.
Was he shocked? He was probably like, who would want to talk to my sister? I mean, like, kids are like, why is she doing a show? What?
No, he was totally cool about it.
Good.
Anyway, we have a question here coming in over the internet here.
Ooh.
From John F. And he says, what is Allison's favorite Harry London's chocolate or product? He says for him it's the Buckeyes.
Well, my brother was actually the one who created Buckeyes. And
what is a Buckeye?
A Buckeye is...
I think I saw it on the homepage.
It is. It's milk chocolate, and on the inside of it, it has a peanut butter mixture. A lot of people always wonder what that peanut butter... It's peanut butter and white chocolate combined.
I'm not a white chocolate fan.
But you wouldn't know that it was white chocolate unless
It's
I'm
too
telling
creamy.
you. Oh, man, these Buckeyes are really good. What is my favorite?
I like my chocolate like I like my women.
Oh, no. What is that, Dark?
Bitter. But anyway.
Well, you've been right on track then.
Right. So, anyway, so you answer the question.
My favorite is my brother has these orange peels that are candied, and he brings them in from New Zealand.
Dark?
And they're dark chocolate.
Dark orange is my favorite.
Orange peeled, candied orange peel. I love them.
That's my favorite, too.
Love them.
That's my favorite, without a doubt. That's
With
awesome.
a glass of wine, it's my fave.
You know, we should get you some wine.
Yeah, I know. You don't even know what's in my glass, though.
Is it wine?
No. I'll have some wine.
Okay, I have a bottle. All right, we'll do that.
Is that break some like FTC?
This is the internet.
Oh.
It's a webcast. It's a webcast, Allison. We can, get a
Here
little...
we go.
Now, all right, listen. We have just a little clip of you here.
Oh my gosh, doing what?
Well, this is basically it's just like a. And by the way, the video is really bad. I couldn't help it. So should we show it because it's bad video?
I think you should show it because I don't know what it is, and it could be really fun.
No, it's like a collage of different home shopping when you were with
Am
HSN.
I talking over this or?
No, it's just like different little spots of you. I found
it.
I found it on YouTube, I think. So we should definitely check that out. All right, let's check it out.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to HSN. My name is Allison Waggoner, and I know a lot of you have been calling in and asking when the Levine line, the E21 watches to be here for the holidays. Well, you have tuned in at the right time because all her face is a map of the world, is a map of the world. You can see
now hit the green thing.
she's a beautiful girl. And everything about her. Oh, no. I know. That's Carolyn Strauss, and we're having a blast. Just came in with a bear that would say, "Will you marry me?" You're not hinting or anything. No, not hinting. I'm walking. No, walking. I'll see you. Okay, see, I got it all but one. There you go. I was thinking your car would never break down on a beautiful sunny day with an ice cream truck going by. That's what I would say. Okay.
With jumper table.
Yeah. When did SpongeBob go down? And all right. He goes like, "Can you hear me now?" And then he's like, "Come on, can you hear me now?" Okay. Well, if you're going to be running around like that, you got to have a great parachute. Okay. Back to we're going to take a very, very quick phone call. Sally called back. Sally, where have you been? Well, I've been trying to get through to you. Well, I'm so hard to. I dumped it all out. That's okay. I know she's gone. Hey, forever. Take a look. Welcome in to everyone. My name is Ammar, and we are in 2-hour Best of Jen show. And what I really like about having the show at this time of the year is because we have brought back all of our best sellers on customer pay.
Yes, actually, yeah. So there'll be several shows. And if you go online right now, we showed you can actually see some of the tools that he's going to be bringing.
Why y'all looking at me? Like I know. Street cars. Somebody's going to pay dearly tonight. Oh. Because we're going to be cooking and eating next hour. We have to bring this could be my date for the Halloween dance. I hope that you can join me in this hour, whether it's you that loves this wonderful Halloween holiday. Hey, can I bring my mommy to the party? This is going to come back to haunt me sometime. That'll do it for that. And also, my table's not very safe. What? Look at that. Maybe it's haunted here. 3 sheets of formula. Love my bling, love my bling. I can do is show you every single thing, what every single button does. I can share what I'm doing. My name is Allison Waggoner, and we have a really fun Saturday morning. Plugged into here at the network, and I hope you can stay tuned because I want to eat more. You should come every week. You should come every Friday. But here's the thing.
Love morning. You are such a sweet sweetheart. I do.
Beautiful morning. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning with more great items. So stay tuned for 24 hours. Great Thanksgiving at HSN. Have a great day.
We may want to get our girl. Okay. So Allison, she's watching this and she's
so young.
She's saying, "Oh, I was so young." I said, "How long ago was that?" She says, 4 years. That's not That's not that long ago.
Wait, did you see in that video where the guy? We were selling this baseball. It was a baseball on a tee, and you had to hit it off the tee. And when I went to do it live on air, I hit him right in the crotch with the ball.
I saw that on the backswing.
I did. That guy limped out of there. I mean, he had a great face during the show, but he limped out of the set. Like, it was like, oh, it's like, do not give her a bat ever.
That's pretty funny. I just wish we would have had a better video quality
I know.
of that.
Sorry.
You don't keep your old videos and stuff.
Don't.
It's too many. It's too much.
It's so many hours. Somebody asked me today how many hours I'm on television. I can only tell you, I don't know. Actually, I figured this out. I have logged more live television hours than Jay Leno and Oprah Winfrey combined.
Yeah, well,
That's
I mean,
incredible.
You know, think about the hours Mike Davis logs.
he's off the charts. He's an amazing guy.
He's probably the most televised guy in America.
I would say. I would
you
say.
stop and think about
the
it.
MD, the big MD.
You know.
Mike Davis is one of the Invicta guests. And
but you know, now that he has Ryan there, he's got a little bit of relief, obviously.
I know.
But I mean, you know, it's a big load. I
don't think people realize that it's 24 hours a day and it's live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, you were at HSN for how many years?
As a host, 4 years.
4 years. Now, how did the move happen where you went from HSN to Shop? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I mean...
Get a little closer here, because these mics are not like our mics at Shop.
Super mics. No. The woman who had brought me on as a guest at Shop NBC, Catherine Amick, had given me a call and came up and just asked me if I could come. I like the whole team. I like the environment better. I like the people better. For me, it was a fit. I'm not a Florida. I mean, Florida was hard for me. It was a big transition. I'm used to 4 seasons. I love the 4 seasons. I mean, people complain about the snow, but I love the snow. I love the summers, and to me, it was just a fit. I mean, some people say Minnesota. I love it here.
But I still don't understand. You were hosting. Now, were you like already terminated, or were you already left? Or and then you were looking for something, or you
I
were
was kind of looking. I was looking.
Okay.
I mean, I wish there was some big story to tell you. There's just not.
Okay, so you were looking, and
I was kind of looking, and my contract came up down at HSN, and the offer was on the table to stay, but I just really didn't want to. And I had thought about getting back into the chocolate business, and it just was one of those kind of points in your life where what are you going to do?
So did you send like a video to the people at Shop NBC, or they?
No, Catherine, who had hired me at HSN as a guest, was now in charge of the host at Shop NBC.
Oh, well then that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I love Catherine.
So you had somebody from your days at HSN who was now employed at Shop and said, Allison,
a lot of people,
why don't you come up here?
A lot of people that I had started with and I was guesting with and that kind of thing that were at HSN were now at Shop NBC.
Because I remember when honestly, I remember working at Shop, and I remember working with you in like 3 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
It seemed like that's all they gave you in the beginning.
Well, I think
they gave you a lot of these overnights, and I said she's a star. I said you were amazing.
Thank you.
Then you got out of that middle of the night stuff very quick.
Well, what's funny is that
do you remember working a lot in the middle of the night?
Yeah, but I didn't mind it. I think because I never was in acting. I think I was never in acting. I never went to school for acting or television or media or production. That I just like getting on air and working with people like Larry and talking about products that I really love. And I've never really cared what time of the day it is. I just really love it. And I think when I moved to Shop NBC, I knew, and it's funny because I got up this morning, I thought, I really love my job. That it doesn't matter to me what time of day I'm on. I could be on at 3 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, but like you have your daughter's at home, right?
Well, my daughter graduated from college last year, and if she's watching tonight, she decided to take a year off from college, which I didn't realize translates to I just need to sleep in. And she's really smart, but she took a year off. She just got accepted to University of Minnesota Law School, and we'll be attending law school in the fall. As a matter of fact, tomorrow morning, bright and early at 8 a.m., we're going to be down at the U meeting some of her law professors for next year.
Now, we actually have some pictures that we were able to dig up, but I'm not sure if we have your daughter. There's one picture.
You have one picture of my daughter.
Okay.
And it was at her college graduation last.
Because Stacia said this, I think is her daughter, and I said, no, I don't think so.
That's my daughter.
Because I met her at Thanksgiving, and that does not look like the girl I met.
She has her hair cut a little bit shorter now. We had just gone to her college graduation. That was down in Florida. She went to Florida State University. And we were in the rental car. We had just gone. We had changed our clothes, and we were going to head back down to Tampa to see some friends. Yeah, it's funny because people say we look alike.
Well, I thought she looked alike when I saw her on Thanksgiving. But
Yeah.
in that picture right there, I don't see it that much.
That's her.
Maybe it's
She
just the
is
angle of the picture.
funny. If I have a one-liner, well, can I tell you a quick story about her?
Yeah.
When she comes up with the best one-liners I have ever heard in my life. And a lot of times she'll say something, and I think it's so funny that, like, I'll say it the next day on air. You know, you hear something and it, like, resonates. So she came in one night, and she said, I don't know if maybe I shouldn't, I'll do it. So she said, shut the front door, which I didn't know was code. Are you allowed? Do you know what that means? Shut the front door? Okay.
Shut the front door.
No, it means something else.
Like
so she
your
was
zipper
saying,
or something?
No. Do I need a pen to write? Because I know I can't say this word. But I didn't know it meant something different. So, yeah. So, here, wait. Shut. Okay, that's what it means. But I didn't know that. So the next day I was on the air with Carmela Sterling, who is one of our jewelry guests. And she said something, and I was like, shut the front door. And literally within 5 seconds, my boss Paul was standing in front of me like, you did not just say that. So I took a lot of heat about that, but I didn't know it was a naughty thing. Like
I never heard of it. Yeah.
Well, about 6 weeks later, I was on the computer doing something, and my daughter comes running down the hall, and she goes, oh, my gosh, it's in the Nabisco commercial. So on the Nabisco commercial, the woman on the national commercial says, shut the front door. And so I sent it to my boss and said, now, see, it's okay. I didn't break any rules or any.
Allison, I think you're safe.
I am safe. Or maybe we're all really old, but
I think you're safe.
We're safe. We're good. But she's great, and she's smart, and she's funny, and I know people probably say this about their kids all the time, but if I have time away from work or anything, I just love spending it with her. She's just cool.
Yeah.
She's a cool kid.
Yeah, my kid's a perfect kid.
Right. They're probably the same. But you know what? It's funny because when you think about your kids, I was scared to death when I had a kid. I thought, oh, no.
Well,
how are they?
Let's take a look at some of these pictures, and you can kind of narrate them for a little bit. Now, is this shop or HSN?
This was a shop.
Okay.
This was one of my first nights at. That's when we used to do a lot of shows solo.
Right, without guests.
Overnights. Yeah, without guests. And man, were those fun. Not saying guests aren't fun.
I used to host home shopping, and I did 5-hour shows standing on my feet 5 nights a week from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m.
And it's fun, and you have a lot of fun. Okay, so what else we got? What else you got?
Uh-oh. The business? I didn't know about HSN. Okay. Hey, listen, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us. You have to restart your stream. We lost the feed for a second there, so thank you all for staying with us. They still with us, Ronnie? It looks like we might have gained a couple. I don't know.
Yeah, can you make it crash a couple more times?
But in any case, we lost the stream there. It was a system crash. Ronnie got it back up nice and quick. We probably were down.
Nice going, Ronnie.
We were probably down for about a minute right there. But anyway, as we were talking about that picture, that was when you were doing solo on the overnight.
Yeah, just come. You can tell my hair is really long.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. I went from really long to really short hairdo. But I remember somebody sent me that picture that was on the set. I didn't even take it. And I remember thinking, I really want to keep that picture because it reminds me of just going out there and doing what I love to do. So that's why I remember it so much. This was when we just did we just teamed up with a large store, Macy's. And
so this is just brand new. I mean, this is recent.
Just the last couple weeks. And I think people like to see what it looks like behind the sets. And we were waiting. It's in our business, it is sometimes a lot of hurry up and wait.
But I noticed when they have the in the kitchen type of shows, it's you, it's Daniel.
I love to cook. I think you have a passion about stuff, and it shows. I think, you have a passion about watches.
Yeah. And
that shows. I think it's hard to fake a spot. This is classic. This is a picture. We took the new headshots for the Shop NBC website, and this is so me. I have a dress that's like half on, and I'm barefoot. Getting my pictures taken, running around barefoot. This is me and Dana and Devin. People always ask me, what is it like to meet people like Dana, and they are such good people. I haven't met the nicest person I ever worked with? Florence Henderson.
Okay, that makes sense.
She was exactly like you would want her to be. There's me and Mike behind the scenes.
You do a lot of shows with Mike.
Mike is hysterical. I don't even know if I want to get into the whole thing, but there we were down at the Invicta remote.
That's in the warehouse?
That was in the warehouse. That was the first Invicta remote. I couldn't believe. Look around me.
Those boxes are amazing.
Look around. And that was just the ones that were out of the boxes. It is it is floor to ceiling boxes, watches. It's incredible, their operation. Here we were behind the scenes. We were getting ready for it. And, people don't realize, and Larry, you know this more so, for every hour that we spend on television, there's numerous hours of research that is done behind the scenes as well.
Oh, definitely so. And it looks like it's a really nice setup down there. And
that was Jill and I outside the night before.
Marine Pavilion.
Oh, it was at the Marine Pavilion. It was beautiful. And the night before, we had gone out there to do a show, and the wind was coming up so hard at the back. It was hitting the back of our heads. It was hysterical. But,
now
gotta love a live remote.
There's another remote coming up the end of March. Are you in on that one?
There is. I am. I'm only going to be down there for a couple days this time. And don't ask me the dates that I'm going to be there. I think it's right around like the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the last half of the event. I have to fly back. I have another beauty event the next morning.
All right, now here's a shot. This is a group shot here. What's this? What's going on here?
Oh, this is the girl. This is Lynn and Eric and I and Lynn and on both
Christine.
ends. Lynn and Christine both host. We had Hart come about a year ago. Up to shop, do you remember?
The sisters.
Yeah, and they
Connie
were there.
hosted that.
Oh, it's fantastic. So that's just some behind the scenes.
And who's
stuff.
Eric?
Eric is one of our buyers. He buys all of our he does the Sensa and a lot of home stuff like that. So
okay.
It's just fun, and then I think people realize that we work with these people for so many hours a day, but they really are all great people. So
okay.
Easy.
So, all right, and I know there's a lot more to get into with you on the.
Are you gonna have any more surprise callers?
No,
Did
we're
you
not.
Call my mom?
We're not going to have more surprise callers. Now, should we have called your mom?
No. Well, I mean, you could have, but my mom, if you would have called her and said that I would have been done in a show, that I would not have. She said no, she wouldn't be on a show. Why would you have her on a show? My mom would probably laugh at you.
No. Well, you had mentioned in your notes of something about your brother and sister and all that.
I just love my brother. And my sister's really cool, too. My sister's really smart. I bet you probably couldn't get her on the phone. She travels all the time.
Well, you didn't give us your brother's name. You just said you had a brother, and a sister.
All right.
But yet we did our
cannot believe you found
research
everybody.
Team is what we went to work and we went to town.
I can't believe it.
Let me ask you a question because we're getting ready to change directions just a little bit here. Do you like the movies?
I love the movies.
Do you like?
I have to say, I'm not as big as an advocate or remembering all the old movies that I've seen like you are.
But do you like the old movies?
Love them.
Because in the notes, Mallory, who interviewed you, said that you like watching old movies with your daughter.
I do. We will get 3 or 4 great movies like The Godfather. We'll do the whole thing together.
Yeah,
just in one night.
To you, The Godfather is like an old movie.
No.
Actually, it is. It's like 40 years already.
If you go back to the beginning, when was the first one?
I think, was it 72?
That's
40 years ago.
We weren't young chickens. We were chickens.
Or maybe it was 73. I don't know. But, I know you've seen my collection. And
You have some of the greatest, and you also have great memorabilia. What's your favorite piece of memorabilia that you have?
Well, I don't have that much memorabilia. I actually had, which I don't really have much of it anymore, but I had, I was really into animation art, and I had original production art drawings of the 3 Disney princesses. I had Snow White, Cinderella, and Briar Rose, of course, as Sleeping Beauty. And, of course,
where are they now?
My second ex-wife has them.
How many ex-wives are there?
It doesn't matter.
Did she take them just to piss you off, though?
No, listen, she deserves them.
Because sometimes they do that.
No, she deserves them. She deserves them.
She deserves them.
But in any case,
does she really deserve them?
Yeah. That was my fault. But anyway, so what I'm saying is...
It's only $75 an hour, Larry. I can
but they were framed and they were beautiful. And
why would you give them away?
That's a story for another day. But listen, it's okay.
Who's interviewing who now?
No, but you
Larry.
asked me what memorabilia. I mean, those were great collectibles. Let me tell you. They're probably worth about 10 grand a piece now.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
They were on this what they called 16 field production paper. Everybody likes to.
Now, is it the
cell.
drawing or the cell is different?
Yeah, the cell is actually, if you have an original production cell, it's worth even more. But I actually really favored the pencil drawings, especially if you got the original production drawings. Anyway, we won't get into that. We can talk about that later. But, as you know, on my show, Chillin' with Larry, I think you know, is every week we feature a classic movie.
Right.
And this week we've got a great one, Cover Girl. And I think it's about that time.
Rita
Ronnie.
Hayworth.
Let's do it, Ronnie. Let's go to the classic film zone. Well, Barbara, welcome in.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Larry. Hi, Allison.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Barbie.
I enjoyed your talk, and I love Buckeyes.
Oh, well, good. I have a hookup for you then.
I am a Buckeye.
Are you from Ohio?
Yeah.
Where are you from in Ohio?
I'm from Richfield, Ohio.
I know right where that is.
You do?
Yes.
Because I missed the beginning. Where are you from?
Well, I was raised in Canton.
Okay, I fly into that airport all the time.
Yeah, it's the best airport in the world,
It
in
is.
my opinion.
Definitely.
You can fly in, you can fly out, you can park literally like 50 steps from the front door. I'm sorry, Barbie and I are having our own conversation.
Well, I think we have a side-by for them if we want, Ronnie. Okay. I think we do. But go ahead, you two. I mean, feel free to catch up.
Well, no, I think it's interesting because I love to watch the clips, and I love what you do here at Chillin'. So, sorry, Barbie, take it away. Take it away.
No, I'm psyched that you like Rita Hayworth. I'm psyched that you knew that right away. Did you really know that, or did you do homework?
I know some things, not a lot, but who doesn't know Rita Hayworth? And it's right here.
Okay, well, this is a 1944 musical starring Rita Hayworth.
How am I doing?
It was put out by Columbia Pictures. It was directed by a man named Charles Vidor. I think that's how you say it. But Columbia Pictures really gave Gene Kelly full reign to do all the musical numbers, and he really took control over the making of the picture. And a lot of his ideas are in this film. So it also has Phil Silvers, who was a very funny comedian and was very popular at that time. And he had a television show, what was it called? Sergeant Bilko? I mean, that's way before our time, but
that's
he
right.
was popular in film and TV. And then it also starred Eve Arden. So this was back in the day when there were a lot of good character actors. And she's funny, and it's a great story about a girl named Rusty, who's a chorus girl at a nightclub that is managed by Gene Kelly named Danny. And she has a break. She gets a real big break, and she becomes a cover girl. And back in the day, there were many, many more publications. So this, there was Harper's Bazaar, which is now Bazaar, and Vogue, and we have a lot of them still, but there were just tons then. So she's a cover girl. It segues into a whole Broadway career for her, and then she has a choice of marrying someone other than Danny. And so we're going to do some of the musical numbers, I think.
All
Are
right,
you guys
Barbara?
ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
I really feel like I'm selling this. But this was one of my favorite. I mean, it's really top 3 for when I was a kid. And I cannot tell you how many times I saw this. And I think it's Gene Kelly's, for me, it's his best film. It's his best musical. So we're going to go, Ronnie. The first thing we're going to do is Long Ago and Far Away. And this is a Jerome Kern song. It was nominated for the best song of the year at the Academy Awards. It did not win. I don't even understand that. And the words are by Ira Gershwin.
Okay.
Name in all the papers, big stores sending you pretty dresses for nothing. Ho ho. That was terrific tonight, wasn't it, Danny?
You bet it was terrific. Best goodbye music I ever danced to. Yeah, tonight was really terrific. See a thing like that happen right under your eyes. Something you wanted for someone all their life.
You haven't known me all my life.
6 months, then.
7.
7, then.
7 months, 3 days, 4 hours, 23 minutes. It was Tuesday.
Long ago and far away, I dreamed a dream one day, and now that dream is here beside me. Long the skies were overcast, but now the clouds have passed. You're here at last. Chills run up and down my spine. Aladdin's lamp is mine. The dream I dreamed was not denied me. Just one look and then I knew that all I longed for long ago was you.
I dreamed a dream one day, and now that dream is here beside me. Long the skies were overcast, but now the clouds have passed. You're here at last. Chills run up and down my spine. Aladdin's lamp is mine.
The dream I dreamed was not denied me.
Just one look and then I knew that all I longed for long ago was you.
Awesome.
You just have to love them, don't you?
And she's just so graceful and so beautiful, and her hair is awesome.
And the costumes and all of it.
I know, and it's beautiful Technicolor. It's just a great movie. But it didn't win for Best Song that year. Going My Way with Bing Crosby won Best Picture, and Bing won for Best Actor, and it won for Best Song, and the song was Would You Like to Swing on a Star? Which is a good song, but...
Yeah, it is a good song. That would be a hard choice. I wouldn't want to be on that committee.
But this song was nominated for an Oscar, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. But, and I mean, we did the song with the Harry James Orchestra. I don't get to sing it, but they play it. It's so beautiful. I never get tired of it.
Come on, Barbie. Give us just a couple of bars.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Long ago and far away, I dreamed a dream one day.
That's it.
Bravo. Well done. Well done.
You have to see Barbie do her with the whole orchestra, the Harry James
I would
Orchestra
love to.
and everything. She's
yeah,
amazing.
I hope I get back up to Minnesota. I've been up there.
Yeah.
Well, I would be the first one in line.
Barbie's amazing. Barbie,
so nice. We're so cute.
Barbie's amazing. Well, that was a great choice, Barbie. What else we got from this movie?
Thank you. Now, I think we should do something that has Phil Silvers with them. And I think it's in Make Way for Tomorrow, where they dance completely down an entire street.
Mm-hmm.
And Gene Kelly blew out all the soundstage walls so he could make this one giant soundstage so it would be continuous. And that's what we're going to see next. Ronnie, make way for tomorrow, please.
Rusty, did you find the foil?
No foil.
No foils.
Well, better luck tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Here we go again.
Let's keep on singing, make way for tomorrow. The sun is bringing a new day tomorrow.
Don't let the clouds get you down. Show me a smile, not a frown. Stand up and win, turn about. Don't give in, let's give out to the blues. Just refuse to surrender. One smile and you are a true solid sender. What if it rains and it pours? It only rains out of doors. Let every frown disappear and you'll find that tomorrow's here.
Listen all, this is genius calling. Hear ye!
Hear ye!
Why not gather rainbows while ye may?
While ye may.
You can lose the gremlins, the goblins, the glooms. Laugh, ha-ha, and they're back in their tombs.
Let's keep on singing, make way for tomorrow. The sun is bringing a new day tomorrow. Don't let the clouds get you down. Show me a smile, not a frown. Stand up and win, turn about. Don't give in, let's give out to the blues. Just refuse to surrender. One smile and you are a true solid sender. What if it rains and it pours? It only rains out of doors. Let all the clouds disappear and you'll find that tomorrow.
I'm exhausted.
And I'll take a cigarette after that.
That's some great tap dancing.
It was good. It was good.
And Phil Silvers is funny, and it's cute. You know, this is one of the last things that Jerome Kern wrote, one of his last shows, certainly one of the last things in Hollywood. He was about to do the score for Annie, Get Your Gun, and then he passed away, and then they gave it to Irving Berlin. So this is one of the last complete scores that he did, and he had been writing since the teens, and his big thing was Showboat. So I think it's wonderful to have this whole Jerome Kern score, and you just don't hear it that much. What else do I want to tell you? That scene, I think it's so cute because when I was a kid, they had this thing. They were in Brooklyn. They lived in Brooklyn, which I thought, where I had to be. I mean, I just thought it was the coolest place in the universe, and this movie is probably why. And they would go every night after they finished their nightclub routine, and they'd go to this one particular oyster place and do this thing where they'd be like, "Come on, Pearl," to get the lucky thing, So the night that they get the pearl is when she gets the lucky break or something like that. Anyway, I just thought that's what you did in show business.
Yeah,
Interesting.
It's pretty cool. It actually plays a central role in this film because, like you say, at the end of this movie, when she's about to marry the rich guy,
right?
Then that's when Danny finds the pearl, and then I don't want to spoil it for you, Barbie, but then Phil Silver's he's genius in this film. He's called Genius. Genius takes it to the wedding, and she gets it, and then she leaves him at the altar and comes running to Danny because of the pearl.
Right, because she was going to marry the producer, the Broadway producer. But,
right.
You know,
Yeah,
it's really so much better to be a nightclub performer and have a pearl. Is the the story. So, what if we do Put Me to the Test next?
Put Me to the Test, okay.
Do you like that one, Larry?
Well, there's so many. I mean, Barbie, if this was just me and you, and we were just here by the fireplace, we'd watch the whole darn movie. I know that.
Eating buckeyes and
I know. I'm almost tempted to steal this and go home tonight to do an all night.
Well, you don't have to steal it. You can borrow it.
It's so funny when you watch back. And, you know, the funny thing is, I have to say this. When you watch Gene Kelly today, and you would have watched it, 20 years ago, it's so timeless. He is effortless. You can just, it's like he's leading you down. He's like taking your hand and you're in that scene. I mean, it's really incredible to see.
Well, he seems so strong and sure. I mean, that's the kind of a dance partner. He might even be able to make me look good.
Now,
he would make me look good because I can't dance at all, girl.
Barbie, now on Put Me to the Test, I actually had prepared 2 clips because they do it twice in this movie.
Right.
They do it early on and then, of course, later on the back of the truck. Which one did you want to show?
Oh, they do the early one when they're on their way home from World War II, right?
I'm not sure if they were on the way home from World War II, but the later in the movie is when Danny gave up the theater and he went with Phil Silvers and they're on the truck with all the soldiers and they're doing Put Me to the Test and they're on the back of the truck.
Oh, that's adorable, but I was going to do the other one. You pick.
Okay, no, that's fine. Ronnie wanted to know which one you were going for because we have them both.
Okay, not the truck.
I love that. Whichever one you want, not the truck.
Not the truck. I'm
Barbie,
okay.
you're my kind of girl.
That's great. All right.
Not the truck.
You heard the lady, Ronnie.
The good old nights are gone, but chivalry still carries on. I wear no armor, but to my charmer I hereby pledge my all. In other words, I'm at your beck and call. Put me to the test and I'll climb you the highest mountain or swim you Radio City fountain. Put me to the test and I'll get you a Queen's tiara or a pyramid from the hot Sahara. You can dress in sables at nightclub front tables if that is what my lady adores. Put me to the test, lady, just make your request and anything that you desire is yours. Put me to the test.
family had a dance studio in Pittsburgh. That's where he's from. And Rita Hayworth's family had a dance background too, and they started in Brooklyn, but then they came out to Hollywood, and they trained a lot of people in the movies. So they have that connection. I thought you should know that, Larry.
Yeah, well, I wasn't exactly sure that, that was how it was, but I knew there was a special connection between the families.
Yeah, and I mean, I just think that they're beautiful partners. And she was beautiful with Fred Astaire, too. I mean, she was a huge star. She was one of the biggest stars. And starting at 44, 45, 46, I think she was one of the highest grossing box office and one of the biggest stars. In 46, she did Gilda, which everybody remembers.
I have that one, too, and I love that one. She's a little bit more brash in that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge picture, and it was in black and white, and it was still just so sensual and so amazing.
Well, with Glenn Ford too.
Yeah. Great movie. I mean, and I love Singing in the Rain for Gene Kelly. I mean, everybody does, but there's something about this one. He's young, a little younger, and I don't know, it's sweeter for me. Maybe I just like the score.
Well, what you had told me when you and I were picking these films was you said he's less hammy.
Oh.
Remember?
I like that, though.
That was confidential information.
Okay.
No, but I do. I mean, you can't diminish his amazing talent. He can sing, he can act, he can dance. But I remember just later on, I didn't like him as well. I did think he was a little bit hammy.
Well, in The Pirate, for sure.
Yeah, he's great in Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and we got to do that one sometime.
Oh, we definitely will. So now, is that a wrap on this one, or what do you? What else?
One more?
Oh, sure. You okay with one more?
Yeah, I'm having a ball.
Okay. Oh, that's so nice. Hey, I did that television show Smash today.
What do you mean? You were in it?
I was in it.
I do not miss an episode. You know why? I love Catherine McPhee.
Oh.
Okay, she was not in it today. Angelica Houston was in it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, what's the redhead's name?
The girl from
the redhead.
Yeah.
Which redhead? Oh, you're talking about from
the long hair.
No, I know Deborah Messing.
Yes, Deborah Messing was in it.
Yeah.
How bad is it that we don't remember her name?
I know, that's terrible.
Sorry, Deborah.
Leave it to the old guy to remember. But so what are you doing in Smash? Because I DVR every episode.
Well, I mean, this was just, doing some Screen Actors Guild, background extra work today. Another time a featured role.
Well,
Last night I did a great gig at a private club with my little 1920s band, and that was. I've had a couple of crazy days.
Yeah, but will I at least be able to spot you there in Smash if you tell me where and which episode?
Yeah, I'll find out what episode. I will.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. They better give the Maryland role back to Catherine McPhee, or I'm out.
Okay, I'll tell him.
Okay. All right.
We'll see how that goes.
All right.
So the next clip is the big feature, and it's called Cover Girl, and it's. When I was a kid, do you remember in Singing in the Rain where they do that kind of thing where it's all I don't know if it's the different seasons, it's different clothing or something where they go from person to person, and it's a big production number, and that's how this is. They show all the different cover girls, and I just thought that was the greatest thing when I was a little girl. I fantasized about that. I wanted to make up my own production of it. And then Rita, I guess I can just call her Rita, comes down, spiraling down in this unbelievably gorgeous gold dress. And she couldn't, her body, and her grace, I can't get over it.
Now, who directed this film?
His name is Charles Vidor.
Because this one part that you're talking about right here made me think of Busby Berkeley.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It really did, because Busby Berkeley had a way, as you know, Barbie, he had a way of, reenacting something that was supposedly on a stage that could never really in real life be on a Broadway stage, because it was only in a massive, movie set where they could do it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And Berkeley always would do that, and you'd be thinking, and you see an audience there like they're watching something on stage, and he'd do this incredible things like in an airplane hangar, and that's kind of what this reminded me of.
I know. Well, I don't think we're going to see it in this clip, but in the real film, the first actual shot of this clip is you're like you can see it from the back of the back of the house of the Broadway theater, and then it zooms in on the stage, and yeah, right.
But anyway, that's what's fun about it. So you heard the lady, Ronnie.
Soldiers and civilians, people by the millions, want to see the perfect cover girl. So I've taken lots of candid camera shots of beauty, my duty. There's nothing like perfection, so in that connection, I present my perfect cover girl. Number one, I miss her, how can I resist her? I've seen the one, I go for one. I was high and low for life's not complete till I meet that girl on the cover. My problem has me sighing, she keeps electrifying me. But is she fancy free?
We make a team that would be supreme with love that's everlasting. It would be extreme to call us perfect.
Lasting love, help a helpless lover love. Come and help uncover that girl on the cover for me.
lavish enough?
I have to tell you, I have never seen a woman wear gold lame quite like that.
Look at that.
I mean, your body has to be pretty smoking to pull that off.
I have a
You know what
gold-
I mean? The Spanx doesn't even help with that. I mean, you got to be just perfect.
I know.
I know.
She just looks just divine. Incomparable, really.
Right, really.
Anybody that's, watching Dancing with the Stars should see this film. I mean, there's, everybody should see this. If we could bring this film, or any of the films that we talk about every week, and I don't want it to die. That's all I'm saying. I just love this stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what kind of brought us together too, Barbie, is we both feel that same way, and I love the fact that you feel that way.
Well, I hope this turns some people on to this film, because it's, a lot of people don't know about this.
You did a great job tonight, Barbie, as always. You always do a great job. And I do not, ask you to pick certain numbers. I just load them up for you and let you pick them. But you did let me down on one number.
Okay, what? All right, what one?
Can you guess?
Sure thing.
Well, listen, they're all great. That's another great one, too. But
Alter Ego, Dan?
Well, first of all, I am shocked that you didn't put that one in. I don't particularly care that one's in.
Hard to pick, Larry. I thought
I know. But the alter ego is kind of a land-breaking, I mean, that was a...
I know what one you wanted.
Which one?
The show must go on.
Well, no.
No. Isn't it?
No, not really. That's the opening number. But no. One of my favorites in this movie is Poor John, because what people may not realize if you haven't seen this movie is that Rita Hayworth plays two roles in this movie.
Yes, she plays her grandmother and she plays her Rusty.
Yeah, she plays herself and she also plays her grandmother.
I did not know that.
So the backstory is that the man who discovers her as the cover girl was one time in love with her grandmother. And that's one of the reasons he was attracted to her.
It was a pure coincidence. But he didn't know it was his granddaughter.
I don't think I knew that.
No, it's not his granddaughter.
No, but he didn't realize when he saw her face that girl was his former love's granddaughter.
Well, I'll tell you the truth, Larry. When I saw this movie when I was a kid, I never liked that part of the movie.
Really?
No, because he was such a drip. But even though I did like her, turn of the century clothing, that was beautiful.
Well, that's kind of one of the things I like about it too. But I hear what you're saying. But it would have been really creepy if he would have had a love interest in her granddaughter. But that didn't happen. So that was cool.
He gives her over to the younger Broadway guy who he's friends with.
But at this point, though, he owns a magazine. And he's looking for the perfect cover girl, and he sees this face that reminds him of his former love from 40 years before, that she basically stood him up at the altar.
And married her piano player.
Correct. And so, it just was a coincidence. It turned out to be that the reason she looked like her is because this was her granddaughter, and then he set her up with the Broadway producer. But it would have been really creepy if he would have been trying to court her,
I mean,
but that doesn't take place.
That does go on, Larry. I know you live this sheltered life, but that does happen a lot here in New York.
What do you mean? Where 80-year-old guys go for 25-year-old girls? You mean?
Yeah, that seems unheard of, and yet that does happen.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but that's one of the things I do like about this movie is the fact that Rita Hayworth plays herself and her grandmother 40 years before, and so Poor John is kind of a cute number because it's Rita Hayworth playing her grandmother back around the turn of the century in 19 whatever.
And his name was John.
Yes.
So it's a song that she directs to him from the stage, so she kind of gets him with this song.
Let's run it.
Okay.
Beautiful, isn't she?
Yes.
I've never seen that picture before. Is it new?
That is a picture of Rusty's grandmother, Mr. McGuire. I was very much in love with her.
Well, I'll be darned.
That's exactly what I said to myself when I first saw Rusty. Amazing resemblance, isn't it? She was a dancer, too. Worked at Tony Pastor's.
Only pastors, huh?
Of course, it was the wrong background for her, just as Danny McGuire's was the wrong background for her granddaughter.
You decided that right away, huh?
The minute I saw her, so I asked her to marry me.
Did she?
Sit down, won't you? I'll never forget the day I asked her up here to meet my mother. My mother was society, and Maribel, the girl from the stage. Well, Maribel stood there with her chin up and her knees shaking, and Mother was looking her over very thoroughly. Mother just shook her head and said, "Poor John." I don't suppose you remember a song called Poor John. That's the way Maribel punished me, by singing it until everyone in New York knew that I was Poor John. Let me tell you about one night.
Lucky girl, I know, 'cause I'm engaged, but still somehow I don't think so. John, that's the name of my finance, you see. There's no mistake, he's very fond of me. He took me out for walks, and though he was so nice, he always used to kiss me on the same place twice. Often in the park we would sit and spoon, and I was oh so happy till the other afternoon. John took me round to see his mother, his mother, his mother. And when he introduced us to each other, she wired up everything that I had on. She put me through a cross-examination. I fairly boiled with aggravation. Then she shook her head, looked at me and said, "Poor John, poor John." His mother. She put me through a cross-examination. I fairly boiled with aggravation. Then she shook her head, looked at me and said, "Poor John, poor John."
John took her round to see his mother, his mother, his mother. And when he introduced them to each other,
she wired up everything that I had on.
She put her through a cross-examination.
I fairly boiled with aggravation. Then she shook her head,
I looked at her and said,
"Poor John, poor John." She wired up everything that I had on.
She put her through a cross-examination.
I fairly boiled with aggravation. Then she shook her head, looked at me and said, "Poor John, poor John."
That's one of the only songs in the film that wasn't written by Jerome Kern.
Nicely done, Barbie. You know, if it was just me and you, we'd watch them all.
Yep, we will another time.
I know we will. Well, Barbie, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, Larry.
For a great,
Thanks, Wilson.
Thanks. It was good to meet you.
Mallory, thanks, everybody. See you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Barbie.
Bye.
Okay.
Is she a big a buff as you are about?
Oh, she knows more than I do.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's what one of the things I love about her. Her passion for the old films is phenomenal, and I'm not an expert. I'm just a fan. I just love.
Yeah, but and I think it's amazing when my memory retention is not clearly as yours is.
Oh, but I forget everything now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I love all the old musicals. I go back when we were younger. We watched Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. You guys were talking about Showboat.
Take this home and watch it
I
with
would
your
love
daughter.
to. Because I don't think she has seen this.
Okay, but you have to bring it back.
With dark chocolate turtles.
Okay.
Okay, deal.
There you go. All right, listen, we got some questions that came in on the internet. Now, remember, we're going to give away a pair of AMC movie tickets for the best question. Take your questions over to...
the best questions.
Yeah. We're going to make a judgment on that. Go to Acorn TV Facebook fan page. You can just click on the little Facebook button, over on the right side of the player there. And type your questions there. We've got people manning the Facebook page here. But we have Ken Ryan on the line. Ken, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Ken, you wanted to talk to Allison?
Hey, Ken, how are you?
Good, how are you? I had a couple quick comments and a quick question. First thing, I read your mini bio on Shop NBC, and it said your family was surprised that you were on live TV because you were shy. Well, I don't buy that, but okay.
Well, I have something to say about that, Ken, but go ahead.
But the comment I have is the fact, I think the reason that so many people like you on the show is that you're natural. You're real. There's no staging, no acting to it. So I really feel that everybody who watches you and likes you wants you to keep that.
Thank you, Ken. I don't know if Ken's going to stay. Do we keep Ken on the line? Okay.
I'm here.
See, Ken, here's the thing. You and I have become Facebook friends, and we talked a little bit kind of behind the scenes a little bit about Facebook and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I think it's really interesting to me because as much as I love Facebook, I think it gives people a license to say things that it's just awful. And I hate to say that, but it's true. And, one of the things, you said I go out there and it is who I am. And people think that we don't read Facebook pages or we don't read certain blogs. I got to tell you, we read it all. And if we don't read it, somebody will put it right in our face and say, do you see what somebody said? And I think it's funny because I'm here and I'm talking about it, which I never do. But I just think it doesn't go, the things that are said, good and bad. I mean, we have so many people that ask us questions about watches or, whatever. I mean, any product on Shop NBC. And Facebook is really a way that I've got to connect with so many cool people. But I really appreciate, Ken. I really do appreciate it. I'm glad you called. And but I mean, you are like one of the best examples ever of, connecting with people on Facebook and really.
Well, I really appreciate that.
Ken, hang in there a second before we let you go. You waited a long time, and I give you a lot of props for that, because...
I know. Well, I have a caveat to that. I was doing paperwork,
Oh, good.
So
But,
it wasn't that bad, believe me.
Yeah, I just want to throw in, to go on top of what you're saying, about Allison being natural on camera. I'll take it a step further. Yeah, I do think she's natural on camera as well. But I think it goes just a little bit deeper, and... Allison is one of the big producers, in my opinion, on Shop NBC. I mean, I do see some of the numbers. I don't see all of them. And, all the hosts there, I'm not just saying this. I enjoy working with all the hosts. I hope you guys can tell I enjoy working with all the hosts. I used to be a host myself in home shopping, so it was a different thing. But now I'm the guest. But with Allison, I think what makes her so successful as a host is it's still a medium of communication. And Allison communicates. Sometimes, without trying to name any names or whatever, there's all this information on these blue cards. And sometimes people want to just get that information out there and read that information or spit it out or get it out. Allison doesn't read. She communicates. She's like, okay, look, here's the deal. And she's talking to people at home. She's communicating through that camera. Allison is a communicator, and that's why she's so good at what she does. And she's never heard me say this before. That's the first time.
I haven't.
That's the first time she's ever heard me say that. But I've said that to others, behind her back, that why she's so good is that she's a
I agree 1,000%, Larry. And the other two more quick comments, and I'll let you go because I know you're up against time. You could probably do an entire show on what Allison does off the air, behind the scenes with charitable stuff. And I've talked to her about this, and she knows how I feel about it. And the last thing I'll say is, Allison, I have a free membership to Arthur Murray for you whenever you're ready.
Hey, you know what, Ken?
I got news for you. That's worth a lot because that Arthur Murray is not cheap.
You know, here's the thing. I joke with Ken because Ken, you had emailed me earlier, and I said, I'm surprised. I mean, Larry, and what you just said, I have to thank you for that because, and this is going to kind of be a two-part thing, but I mean, thank you because I don't, and go back to Ken when Ken just said, I am really shy. I'm on air, you wouldn't know that, but I go about my business like it's kind of, I'm not that outgoing.
No, but you're a communicator. You're talking. You're not just reading.
Well, I think on TV I do it very well. But see, even now I'm a little tongue-tied. I'm a little like, what?
But
to Ken's point about Arthur Murray, so I said, I try to dance. I try to dance on air. I was on with Dr. Bernstein the other day. I tried to do the shuffle. I can't dance, and I admit it that I can't dance. I'm awful.
But you have no
I'll
shame.
Do it every day.
You have no shame. You'll try. If I can't sing or I can't dance, you'll never catch me trying it.
So Ken, I might take you up on that. It's nice to put a voice.
Great show. I watch every week.
Thank you, Ken. Much love. Thank you for the call. Okay. Well, Allison, here's a couple more questions before we get into a little bit of the other stuff.
I'm ready. I'm juiced now. I have
but
coffee.
I see. How many years have you been in the biz from John Knopp?
Well, if you go back, if you want to include guesting before I was a host.
Absolutely.
About 15 years.
Wow, that's good. All right. Here's one from John.
It's hard because I'm only 20, so.
All right, here's one from John Fankhauser. Allison, what is the craziest thing you have ever had to sell on air? Chocolate.
No, fake boobs. Fake little chiclet implants that you put in your bra.
Really?
Yeah.
And is that at Shop or HSN?
No, that was a Shop.
Is it still at Shop?
They're those little silicone pads that you put in your bra to make your boobs like, I don't know.
Do they have value?
Do it to make them perky or bigger?
Do you get value pays on those?
There were value pays, and it was free shipping on those boobs. Am I supposed to say breast? Is that a
I don't know. Let's see here.
Come on, bring them on. I'll answer all of them.
Did you ever, from John Knopp again, did you ever have to sell something that you didn't like? Now, be honest.
Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, I wasn't going to say no. It's funny because even things that I'm not totally crazy about, I still can find one thing that I really do like about it. And let me give you an example. Like with jewelry, you can't like every piece of jewelry. I mean, gosh, if I can tell you how many thousands of pieces of jewelry that I have sold. Did I
ever show you?
But there's sometimes there's a color.
Did I ever show you one of my old jewelry catalogs?
What is this?
I used to be in the jewelry business. This is my Phyllis Nicole Private Reserve. My jewelry business.
Well, have you liked everything that you've ever sold? Oh my gosh, these are beautiful.
No.
I want to look at this. Don't put it too far away.
I had my business in the 90s, and there I was 180 pounds.
Can I have to show this picture.
Don't bend it up, though, because, I mean, this is like 12 years old, and this is the last copy I've got.
Okay, wait a minute. Look at Larry.
Yeah, you'd have to hold it real close to that camera. But, yeah, I was 180 pounds, and, that was in 1998, I think, 97, 98.
I would like to look at that after the show.
Only the finest gem quality merchandise.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
No, you know what? You don't like everything you sold. I had to sell a banana keeper one time from the Museum of Modern Art, and I have to tell you, there's some times where I have laughed so hard on air that I couldn't speak. I have had that happen quite often. One of the most famous times was with Jill Summerstein. She gets me laughing so hard I can't stop. And you know who else is funny is Mike Davis. But I don't have a good filter, so I'll say something, and you all sometimes will think of something total guttery, and you'll start giggling, and Mike will start giggling, and the whole table will shake.
Now, I know you sell a lot of Serta beds.
I love Serta beds. Oh, are you going to show this?
We have a commercial. Let's show this quick 30-second spot that you did for Shop NBC with Serta. Speaking of Allison selling, check it out.
How much is a good night's sleep? worth to you? Is it worth a 60-day money-back sleep guarantee on Norcross Perfect Sleeper? With the Perfect Sleeper's layer upon layer of innovative sleep technologies, your sleepless night blues disappear, just like that. If you aren't 100% satisfied with a mattress, you can return it without a restocking fee. That's right, no restocking fee. And the worth? No risk for a little piece of heaven. You have to tune in, because this Serta won't last long.
Do you know how many times I had to jump on that bed for them to get that take?
When did you shoot that?
Last year sometime.
Okay. All right, I want to, I want to get to your work you do with alopecia, but before we do, you've mentioned to me a few times about your penchant for cooking.
Oh, I love cooking.
Let's talk quickly about that.
After I had my daughter, I went back to get my culinary degree. And it actually just started off to take a cooking class to get out of the house one night a week. When you have a little kid, you just want to, sometimes you want to, So, and then it just turned into a full-blown culinary degree. And it's kind of like a zen for me. I do not, believe it or not, I'm going to make it a big admission here. I do not love to go to shopping malls. I say this on the air, but it is so true. I live in the city where we have Mall of America. I have been there one time in 4 years. I love to go, though, to the grocery market and to the farmer's market, and I love to cook. And, it's how you, for me.
Do you go to Costco?
I do go to Costco.
I love
They have
Costco.
great meat.
I love Costco.
I know, it's going to sound silly. But here's the really cool thing for me is that when I was growing up all my life, that's where you had a moment where you talked about your day was with your family over dinner, or, in the kitchen you'd be cooking, and, I loved it. And I think that's kind of traveled with me. And I started, I'm in the process of writing a cookbook. I was approached by some people that I did some work with on Unwrapped on Food Network to put together some of the work that I'd love to do. And it was a big debate at the time. Do I start something that was, savory and sweet, or just sweet because of my background? And I started just putting all of my ideas together on the Bent Fork, which And the Bent Fork for me has been a blog that has been my own little. And lately, I do not know what's going on with me, but lately it's been all libations. It's been all drinks.
What are we looking at?
I go on and I post different items, and when they hit, they'll hit on Facebook in there too. And originally was just started for me. That is a drink. Actually, I got a request from a viewer that was going to Hawaii. So she wanted a Hawaiian drink, and that was one with fresh pineapple. That was good. And by the way, I do drink all the cocktails that I put on.
Well, we're looking at, is this a website or a blog?
It's a blog, and you can get through my website, and it's just Ben Fork at Tumblr. And it's really cool because we talk about some restaurants, we talk about places that we've gone, and it's not even something I talk about a lot, but it really is what I love to do. Love to cook.
Now you write this blog?
I do.
Now how do people find that?
They can go on to my website, and
which is
AllisonWaggoner.com, and it is under my.
You click on blogs or something.
I think it says food. Yeah, I think it says the Bent Fork on the top.
Okay.
I don't even know how I came up with the Bent. Oh, I know I came up with the name Bent Fork.
Okay.
My daughter has a blog, and hers is the broken typewriter that she did when she was in college, she's in college. And I said, I need to get my ideas. And she said, you should start a blog. So I did, and it's called the Bent Fork.
And how often do you add to it?
Sometimes I'll put 5 things on in one day, and sometimes I'll go like 2 or 3 weeks without anything. So,
when was your last blog report?
I think it was just last week. I think I listed like 3 drinks all in one.
So you put recipes on there?
I put recipes on there. I'm working on putting more reviews on restaurants. So, like, if y'all travel someplace, like, cool. Have you ever traveled to a city and you go, gosh, I really wish where I could eat if I go there. Like, I'm going to be in Chicago, or I'm going to be in wherever.
You know what kind of places I look for?
What do you look for?
I look for places that are kind of like real greasy burger joints and
Which, by the way, there are some really good
joints and just like real hole-in-the-wall local spots. That's what I like.
I love that.
I'm not into fancy schmancy.
I don't think it's about fancy schmancy. I think it's about finding food that you love to eat, like that you. And I said this earlier, you know, like, have you ever had a steak and then at a Greasy Dive or a 4 or 5-star Michelin? I mean, and then you go, man, I compare every steak to that steak. Then you know what? It doesn't matter how much you paid for it. It is a really good steak. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I think it's always about finding the things that you love, and so food has just been a really calming thing for me in a crazy world of TV.
What is this picture here on camera 3, Ronnie? Is this also her blog?
Yeah, that was like what I did in February. So if you see a couple posts a week, and then if I do something that I think is really cool.
Well, look at all these pictures. What are you doing? You're lifting these pictures from like different.
Sometimes there are things that we are taking pictures of for the cookbook.
Very nice. I'm going to have to check out your blog. Yeah. You know, we have to start a blog. That's one of the things on our list.
I think you should, and
we
I
need
think
to.
My problem is just time.
I know. I need to bring on a person to do it because I just don't have the time. But we need to do it. So, looking for a really good blogger out there.
Yeah, I'm
looking.
I would take on a blogger if I could give some ideas to them. It's just for me, it's so personal that I just haven't been able. I only blog when I really feel passionate.
Well, I would only bring on a blogger that would share my vision.
Yeah,
they have to absolutely buy into the vision.
It's really hard,
but we want to do that. It's on our list. Okay. Now we have a couple of more pictures here. These Jay Leno pictures. I want to see what that's all about. Let's see what this is.
Jay Leno,
Ronnie,
super nice guy. He was. I was at an event.
What was this?
This is down for the Children's Foundation in Florida. We were raising some money for some of the Children's Foundations, and he flew out for the foundation, and it was all old cars and vintage cars. Okay. And so we did some interviews with him, and he was so funny. He was so gracious. He was so nice.
But was this for Shop NBC?
No. This was for the Children's Foundation, and we did work for their website.
Now, when was this?
This was last summer.
Last summer,
very hot.
The Children's Foundation. What Children's Foundation?
It's called the Children's Foundation, and it's down in Broward County. And what they do is they raise money for educational purposes for kids that want to go off to college or need private schooling.
Okay, but now Broward County, Florida. You're up in Minnesota. It was last summer. Where's the connection?
Oh, my gosh. I get so many requests for people to help them with different events. And I just happened to be put into a pool with a very good friend, a very good girlfriend of mine has a connection with this. And she asked me if I would come down and do some of the interviewing for their website. So
very nice.
That's what I did. And he was cool. And you know, I keep saying that, but they're cool. It's like sitting around with your best friend just kind of to shoot in the breeze. So.
Okay, and I know you take this stuff very seriously, and the next one we're going to get into is all your charity work that you do for alopecia, and we're going to talk about that. But before we do, we have one of our good friends coming in by video Skype, Mark Goldberg. He pretty much is a regular on our show. Mark, I see you, and welcome in.
Hi, Mark.
How are you doing, Allison, and how you doing, Larry?
Good. And I like the obnoxiously large box of milk bones behind your head.
Well, I have 5 dogs. I'm an animal.
Oh, I love that. I have a big dog, so.
Great. I actually Facebooked 2 questions, so they weren't read, so if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you. Do you, as a host, have a choice if you don't particularly care for a particular product to tell your producer you don't want to do that particular product on air?
Nope. I have to sell everything that I'm given.
Okay.
You know, it's funny, Mark, that you said that because we were talking about selling products and stuff that I like. The funniest thing is that our producers and my directors that we work with, we have to work with what we're given. And a lot of times, like, you know, tonight it was funny because when we were on air and I really was talking about a watch and it was like, we're out of time. I was like, I just give me 5 more minutes. But it has to be, pretty true to what the planners put. It's just a thing of, you know, rotating inventory and all that kind of stuff. If we could do everything we wanted to do, trust me, it would be gone amok. You wouldn't want us to have complete control over it. But it is fun, and I get to sell things, and it pushes me as a host, and I like it.
And I hope you don't blush with the next one. I probably find you the most bubbly person on air.
Oh,
in fact, even on my down days, if I'm listening to you, because Larry knows I put in ridiculous hours, you kind of bring the good spirits back into me. Are you the same personality off air as you are on, as far as your bumminess?
I think I am, because, you know, it's funny because I got an email today. I don't even know who it's from, but I got an email today asking me if I had my SAG or my AFTRA. And I had to think about it for a minute. I'm like, what is that? And I forget that's what, like, an actor. Never went to school for it. I think that it's exactly what you see is what I am. And the awful stuff, too, like when I pronounce things wrong or I speak in really bad English. It's all exactly what you see is what you get. I hate to say that, Larry. But
no, it really is. She really is that, you know, caring person you see on the air. Like I said earlier tonight, Mark, when it was Thanksgiving, you know, what Shop NBC does is they put on a little kind of meal or something like that because there are guests in town that have to be here to do shows, and they're away from their families. So if they're going to be away from their families to be here in Minneapolis to do shows, Shop NBC, you know, has a little thing in the studio there. Well, for me, you know, I'm a guest, but I'm not coming in from out of town. I live here now. So I didn't really see it as something for me, and I never got an official invitation, so I'm not going to, you know, crash a party that I'm not invited to, you know. And Allison said, are you coming? And I told her, no, it's not for me. She says, yes, it is. It's for the guests. And I said, no, Allison, it's not. She says, well, I'm inviting you. And I said, well, that's nice, but, you know, no offense, but you're only a host, you know.
I emailed him every day.
Yeah.
I think I emailed him every day. And I think I even called you.
So then, like, a couple days later, I got this email from one of the big bosses there, and he says, you're coming. There's no doubt about it. So I knew Allison must have went to her boss to make sure that I was invited. I mean, I couldn't even believe she went to that kind of trouble for me to do that. But that's just who she is and what she's all about. And then I made it really weird by bringing her chocolate. I had no idea. And it was,
but I ate it all.
It was cheap chocolate, too, from Costco.
No,
but it was good.
Cheap.
It was nice, but it was Costco. And I didn't know she was in the chocolate business. So now I feel
like
really
Forrest
embarrassed.
Gump.
You know?
Every time I would take a bite, like you didn't know what was inside. It was actually good.
But
no,
that's
you know what,
that's how but that's how she is. She cares about people, and it's amazing. So.
Right, Allison, what Larry is saying, we had a private telephone conversation not that far back, and he actually mentioned this to me.
Oh.
I think he's being very humble. He was so taken aback by the graciousness that you showed him, and he must have spent just 5-10 minutes on the telephone just explaining your kind offer and everything like that.
Oh.
Kudos to you, and I wish more people in this world were like that. And I just
Thank you.
I enjoy listening to you, and I also noticed that, you know, whomever you're with, it just seems like natural. You can kind of bring out the best of any of the guests that are on there trying to sell their products. And
Thank you.
That's all I have to say. I really, truly enjoy you actually lift the spirits up on that show.
Oh, thank you. And, you know, Mark, so how are you a watch? Do you love watches? How do you all know each other?
Well, I met Larry, I called him several years ago because, yeah, I do have kind of a watch fetish. But then we just got to talking about a plethora of things, but that's how we originally met. But I'm basically watching the Shop NBC for the watch events, and especially when Mr. Megan is on.
What's your favorite watch of all time?
I have a Breguet, which I was handed down from my dad. It's the Breguet 12, and I'll never part with that.
Yeah. What watch do you have on right now?
Right now, as a matter of fact, I was telling Larry last night, I was asking Mike Davis when he was on 2 days ago. I was going through my vault the other day, and I noticed the watch my mother gave me, God rest her soul, 25 years ago, and it was ceramic, and it's Dorado, and it looks just as brand new today as it did years ago. And so that's how Mike and I started talking about quality ceramic, which Larry, by the way, Mike owes me an email on that because he was going to check the gradings on how that works.
Okay. Well, we'll have to give Mike a little nudge on that one.
We'll give him a nudge.
You know, Allison, Mark is in a very fascinating business.
What do you do, Mark?
He brings up, he has a company that dives into the ocean and they try to look for buried treasure, and he spends millions of dollars doing it, you know.
Shut up. That is so cool. So I can't ask the latest, like, hunting grounds then, can I?
We have a very specific host contract with the Dominican Republic, because Haiti and the Dominican, believe it or not, is the graveyard of ships. Most people don't know the Spanish galleons, English and French, they would raid South America, they would stop off at the old Hispaniola, which was Cuba, and then they would start heading to the kings and queens in Europe. And in bad weather, they had no control, and thousands of them went down in the Haitian Dominican waters in the coral reefs. So my business is focused there. And not only we find Ming, China. Larry, I'll send you a couple pictures so you can maybe show Al. So we found 300-400-year-old diamond rings that were hand cut back from that era. It's amazing, and how they made the pearl necklaces and all that stuff. It's really great to watch, and we're setting up a special. I know what you're doing with children. We're setting up a special society in the Dominican because they don't really have their culture really well
preserved. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're going to set up a museum down there just on treasure and everything like that, so the children can actually learn what went on in their country hundreds of years ago. And we just want to enhance their culture that way too, because all you have is history, and it should be preserved.
Well done, my friend. Well done.
Yeah, and I know Mark's been traveling a lot. I think in the last 2 weeks you've been down there 2 or 3 times, right?
Yep.
So
I almost feel like the Shop NBC host.
So let me ask you a question. So what do you do with the items once you recover them?
Well, it goes in multiple levels.
They go in Mark's bedroom. I'm kidding. Go ahead, Mark.
I wish I could. We're a public company. If it's a real unique piece, it will go to Sotheby's. Sotheby's only maybe 3 or 4 times a year will catalog an auction. If it's a high quality coin or something, it will go to the numismatic or to the private hobbyists. And believe it or not, we're setting something up on the lower end of the coins, basically. We're going to probably be presenting it, and I'm already in communication with the home shopping networks and the stuff like that, where like what Mel Fisher used to do years ago. So we'll offer the lower grade for at the affordable prices. The good thing about gold is gold spot value, but if it's from a ship that's well known, a coin that might be worth on spot market, let's say $1,000, can command $20,000 to $30,000 if it comes from a ship that has a good history or lineage. So to answer your question, it really depends on the quality of the merchandise, the abundancy of the merchandise, and the rarity.
Interesting. That's interesting. That is very, very interesting. You know what I think is, I bought some replica pieces. This is so crazy. A couple years ago, I was at the Smithsonian, and I love those pieces. The detail and the workmanship that they did hundreds of years ago, it's just not found anymore. So you're really bringing back some great treasures.
Well, we came up with a great idea, and I don't really want this to be about what I do, but talking about replicas, most people don't realize after 100, 150 years, there's no more boat left. The wood is all, decayed and eaten away. It's just gone. But from some of the famous ships, we're going to make replicas, and if we can find little pieces of wood left or metal, that's obviously available. We're actually going to include that into the replica. So they're owning a replica with an actual piece from the original ship. And we thought that would be a great marketing tool, and we're going to do that.
I think that's really cool. I think you're onto something. And I by the way, I'm a certified open water diver. So if you ever need anybody to come down and help you do a dive, I would love to.
Well, Larry has a standing ovation. You're more than welcome to come down, too.
Standing, yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah, I'll come down there just for fun, but you're not going to get me dipping down there, Mark. But
you wouldn't go, I would be the first one in. I would be jumping.
I'm just a nice Jewish boy from the valley. We don't go down there like
Would you believe that most of the ships out is 30 feet and less? So.
Yeah, I read that somewhere. I don't know where I read that, but I did read that. That's interesting. Is that because of the shifts of, is that the shift of the underground, or is that because...
What happens is when a ship goes down, you can have as much as a mile trail. By the time it settles in the currents over 100 years, it just scatters. And then what happens, the law of gravity just takes place, because in those areas the coral was so close. And with the law of gravity, most of the jewelry and all the items are probably in 8 to 12 feet of sand. and no more than that. So we just come in and we just dredge it right out.
So interesting. Well, that's interesting. I got to tell you, Mark, that's a cool business to be in.
Once again, Mark, thanks so much for participating and contributing to the show.
Listen, go do what you have to do. And Allison, again, you are real. It's just such a pleasure to listen
Yay.
to you. And have a wonderful evening, the two of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
So you guys are so nice to me.
Cool.
Thank you.
You sound like Sally Fields. Thanks, Mark.
I do?
Yeah, remember when she won the Academy?
No.
The Oscar?
No.
She said she got up there. She was so shocked. She said, "You like me? You really?
Oh yes, I remember.
You really
now.
like
yes,
me."
I remember. Yeah.
That was, I mean, I'm
But
not
you know what?
one
It's
for
funny
speeches,
because,
but you really like me.
But you know what, Larry? People don't realize that like we are sitting. When we're in a studio, we're sitting in a studio. It's like me and you and like 3 cameras. You know, and like the one visual. Like we never see anybody. We don't
a
get
couple camera guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Running around.
But it's, you know, it's so nice to hear from people.
Well, you know, we hinted around. Let's take a look at these pictures now with the Alopecia Society.
The National Alopecia Areata Foundation.
And let's take a look here, and you tell us what we're looking at.
Huge. This is huge to me. This is last summer out in California. I was out there for their annual conference. This is me and a couple folks at the big dance that night. Let me just, I want to, as you look at these pictures, National Alopecia, there I am standing with the head photographer. I am also standing with one of my fellow members on the board. People, I hear oftentimes people get involved with different things. And there I am with a couple of the girls that have alopecia. The young girl in the center, Alex, she's 25 years old. She's an amazing girl. Alopecia is an autoimmune disease.
Hold on, Ronnie.
And alopecia affects over 117 million people around the world, and it's where you can have total hair loss or all over your body or just spots of hair loss. And when I was 7, I lost all my hair. I'll tell you a funny story, but when I lost all my hair, that wasn't the funny story. And back then, you know, when it was traumatic. I didn't get all my hair back on my head until I was like 18, 19. It was after I graduated high school. And over those years, you know, they try a bunch of different things. But when you see these young people today and these kids today, it's devastating. And you hear about it so much in the news right now, bullying. And we're talking about it more and more. But look at these kids at the camp. They now are actually, I mean, the National Alopecia Foundation is a foundation that supports research to actually find a cure and to help treatment. Here's some of the kids dancing at the Saturday night dance. God, they're so funny. But it does a lot of things. It helps. There's offshoots of it. So we not only support the research to find a cure, we provide money for people that can't afford wigs. They can be $5,000 to $10,000 a piece. So we do that. We also have different areas that will allow money to go to education. So a couple different cool things are happening. I got involved because I had it, and I didn't have any support when I was younger. And I think that if you can find, people always say to me, I'd love to get involved in something. Well, get involved in something that means something to you. So now I'm on the board of directors, and I love it, and we're doing a couple of big things. We have a big gala that is coming up in April, on April 26th, right across from Battery Park. That is, you can find all the information for that on NAF.
We're in New Jersey?
Right in New York, yeah. Right across from Battery Park, right across from New Jersey.
Well, Battery Park is Lower Manhattan, is in New York.
Yes.
You said across from Battery Park.
No, it's going to be in a building that's right across the street.
Okay.
And so I don't know the name of it. I should know that.
Okay. Well, that's Lower Manhattan. Okay.
So we're right there, and we're having the big 30th year annual event. Everybody's welcome to come. You can buy a ticket, or you can become a sponsor. Also, if you go to NAF.org, it's www.naaf.org.
Is that the website we have up now?
That is the website that you have up now.
Let's take a look at that.
There it is. There's the event. It's called Raise Your Glass. That's in Battery Park, 30-year celebration. It's on April 26th. And then we also, that only happens like every 5 years. They put on a
Don't
big
you
event.
usually go to California for your thing?
Well, now that's the summer conference. And I don't know if we can get you to the summer conference page. I think we can right off the web.
Is it one of these?
Every single summer, there is a national conference. It's held, last year was in California. This year it's going to be in Washington, D.C. Actually, this year we're going, a lot of people base their whole family vacation around. So it's 3 days, and you can, sorry, I just knocked my microphone. You can go to just the conference, and it has all kinds of different support groups. It has camp for the kids. It has parent support groups, all of it. But this year it is in D.C., and it's from July 19th to July 22nd. You can always Facebook me, email me, anything you want. I can answer all of your questions. But it's really interesting because there's so much that people don't understand that goes on. For any number of these, they just found in the research a genetic link between alopecia to diabetes. Most hereditary, your heredity plays a part in this. You know, my grandmother died of lupus. I know I could go on and on. This is like a 5-hour conversation I'm having in one. But most issues and most diseases that people have are a single gene disorder. Alopecia is more advanced than that. It is a it's called a polygenetic disorder. So it's interesting, and I'm really involved in it, and it's just such a worthwhile. And everyone that I talk to goes, I know someone that had alopecia. I know someone, and the treatments are so different. So I don't know if I'm answering your questions or making it more complicated.
No, but it's really
it's
just cool that you care so much. Are there any more pictures we have there, Ronnie? That's it? Okay. We ran through all the pictures.
Yeah, and those kids, and I will say this, at the conference, that is the one time a year that a lot of not only children but adults, they kind of just take off their wigs. And they will go bald because they're in a setting that they feel really comfortable. And I do. I spend the majority of my vacation time every year is spent doing stuff with Now.
Well, and I know you're very passionate about it because you usually ask for participation with people like me. And,
I do. I asked you to donate a watch last year, and I'm going to do it again.
2 years ago?
No, it was last summer, and I'm going to ask you to do it again this year.
Okay. I mean, but everybody does, because of your passion for
Yeah.
it. And I know that when you go to these events and you do these things, you actually get up and you're one of the speakers.
I did. I spoke last year, and it's funny because as easy it is to get up on television every day to talk about something that's really personal is very emotional. And I think that when you can you just get so much more from it. The kids that I see now with alopecia have so much more than I ever had. I do have a funny story that you want me to tell you too really quickly.
Yeah.
When I was a little girl and I did lose all my hair because it goes in different. It's not a regulated cycle. People lose all their hair and will never get their hair back, or they lose little patches of hair and then it goes around. But my mother, this is when I was 7, my mother decided that she was going to take the whole house to natural foods, like no pop, no potato chips. It was like all vegan, all fresh foods. This is a funny story. So my brother runs down one time on like this Saturday morning. He's like, I have chocolate. And I was like, where did you get chocolate? I'm like, when you're 7, like that was the entire world, right? Mm-hmm. And then my sister comes down. She goes, what do you mean chocolate? And they broke up. My brother and my sister ate all these bars, and they said, you can't have any because you have alopecia, because they thought, they wanted me to. So no, the funniest thing is my mom came home, and I'm in tears. I'm like, what? Why are they eating all this chocolate without me? Turns out my mom goes, we don't have any chocolate. Remember, she had just wiped the house clean and everything. So do you remember, like 40 years ago, when there was a laxative company that made their laxative in the shape of chocolate bars?
Was that X-Lax?
Yes.
Okay.
They had eaten 2 boxes of X-Lax.
Thinking it was chocolate candy.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I once ate a whole jar of candy, like cherry vitamins, thinking it was just hard candy, but that's vitamins.
You were like Superman for 3 days.
I can't remember what they were
you
called.
were constipated and then felt like Superman for 3 days.
I took a whole jar to school, and I'm passing them out, But that's funny.
Yeah, it was funny. I mean, listen, I think that it's only made me a better person. Yeah. I think that, when you don't look at when you're not judged, or when you learn what it feels like to be judged by your appearance, then you don't judge as easily.
Well, I mean, take a look. I mean, what you've done, what you do now for a living and everything else. So obviously you had the right support around you as a child.
I did.
So,
I did. My mom is great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Ronnie, let's flash the phone number one last time, if just in case anybody want any final calls. We're getting ready to put a wrap on it. But if there's any more calls for Allison, there's the
Can't believe
studio
we've been
line.
talking so long.
Well, we had the Classic Film Zone.
But I love the Classic
And
Film Zone.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yes, I love it. I think that you should start doing more of them.
Well, we do it every week.
Well, I think you should do like 2 in an episode because I would watch just to watch the.
Well, we're thinking about
I
spinning.
would watch to watch instead of watching me.
You know, it's part of the plan to eventually spin off a separate show
Mhm.
just for classic films. But that's down the line. We're not there yet. We got a long way to go.
Long way to go.
But anyway, so if there's anyone who has any final questions for Allison, give us a call. And we're going to award the movie tickets momentarily.
Oh, yeah. How do you pick the words for that?
Well, usually we had email contests and stuff like that, which is really cool. But I just want to give it to whoever we felt deserved it for participating in the show tonight. We had some good questions on the internet. I don't want to say who I'm thinking of right now because maybe one more question may roll in. Somebody may call in. Give us a call. And, you know, if you want to speak to Allison, we'll take your
I have
call.
to thank everybody for watching. Oh, my gosh. This was fun.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of fun. Let me just check
You have a
this.
cool setup in here. Can I just say that?
Thank you.
You guys have no idea what it takes to put this on, and it is super. I mean, this is super cool.
Well, it's not like Shop NBC's control.
We should do this more, though. Oh, well, what is? I mean,
well,
that thing
I'm glad
is
that
like.
you say that because, like, you were like, oh, why don't you?
No, you know why I was a little hesitant? Because I thought, what would anybody want to watch?
Well, don't forget, it's not a cable show. This isn't, you know, this isn't NBC, ABC, CBS.
Yes, it is.
It's okay.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, this is a cool thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is a cool thing. Yeah.
All right, so you have the number. If you want to talk to Allison, we're making a last call. Now, Allison, what I do is usually, you know, every show I end with, you probably noticed above my fireplace, right?
Yes.
My favorite is Judy
Oh,
Garland.
yes.
Of course, I have Judy right here on my wall in here in
You
the
have
office.
Judy, you have Marilyn.
We have the Rat Pack and Audrey.
Yes. Love Audrey Hepburn.
I do too.
Love her.
We do too. As a matter of fact, next week the plan is for our Classic Film Zone. When I spoke with Barbie about it, we were thinking we should do Roman Holiday next week with Gregory Peck, which was Audrey Hepburn's first movie in America, and she won the Oscar for that in her very first movie. So
Gregory Peck is hot too.
and he was such a gentleman. I mean,
suave.
he was the one who insisted that Audrey Hepburn's name be above his, which was so gracious. It's not even funny, but he said she was such an obvious star. That was the only way it could be. But, you know, what an incredible man, and, you know, what a great friendship they had for so many years, really because of that very first movie. But anyway, that's for next week. We're not 100% committed to it, but whether we do it next week or the week after, whatever, we're about 90% sure we're going to do Roman Holiday next week. Okay, so what I do every show is, since Judy Garland's my favorite, and that's from basically my mom. My mom loved Judy. My dad loved Nat King Cole, and so I love all these people, Sinatra and everybody, you know. But Judy's my number one. So every show, I always want to end on a Judy moment. Now, this week I'm going to just mix it up a little bit for the first time ever. We've done over 40 shows.
Really?
Yeah, because I did 17 of them in New York.
That's right. Before
I moved here.
That's right.
And we've always had Judy, you know, at the end of every show, sing a song or something from her movie or something like that. But tonight I'm going to switch it up for the first time ever. Ronnie, I think it's that time. You can still call in and talk to Allison real quickly here. But here it is. We call this segment Always Chasing Rainbows. You know, Allison, the reason...
That's my... I'm watching.
The reason we call it Always Chasing Rainbows is because I find Judy to be inspirational. You know, we know she lived a very troubled life. As big a star as she was, you know, she was addicted to, you know, pills, and they worked her to death and everything. But when she was doing her movies and when she was singing, she was okay. As long as she was performing and singing, that was her haven there, you know, her safe haven. And so, again, I find her inspirational. And we call this Always Chasing Rainbows because, you know, my message that I try to put out there is to never give up, always keep, you know, following your goals, chasing your dreams, chasing those rainbows. And as I still am, you know, I haven't gotten to where I want to be yet. I'm still chasing it. I'm still pursuing it. And tonight I thought rather than do a Judy Garland number, and again, we're deviating, you know, for the
Is this like the first time you've ever deviated?
First time.
Wow.
There's always been a Judy Garland number in every Chillin' with Larry and Megan, except the first one, because the first one we hadn't created the Always Chasing Rainbows yet. So, in any case, you know, I said at the top of the show, I'm really into these singing competitions.
Oh.
And right now we're getting into the battle rounds now with The Voice. You know, I love The Voice. Christina Aguilera is just, that's my girl. I mean, she is amazing, and I just, you know, think she's out of sight. And, of course, American Idol. You know, they've got a lot of talent this year. So we're going to kind of follow those shows as we go through the season. But there's one girl that I'm really pulling for, and she's my favorite, and I'm hoping she's going to win The Voice. But I give this girl a lot of credit, and I think she's continuing to follow her dreams. And here she was on The Voice in the auditions, and this is Jordis Unga with Maybe I'm Amazed, and this is my girl, Jordis Unga. So let's take a look at her.
I love this song.
Maybe I'm amazed at the way you love me all the time. Maybe I'm afraid of the way I love you. Maybe I'm amazed at the way you pull me out of time, hug me on a lie. Maybe I'm amazed at the way I really need you.
My name is Jordis. I'm originally from Minnesota. I've lived in LA for 5 years.
Hi, Jordis.
I am the a-hole who didn't pick you. Nice to meet you.
What gives, Adam?
Nice to meet you. Towards the very end, I started thinking about pushing it, and there was 4 seconds left, so I was too late, and they had already pushed their button, so I'm like...
Yeah, so it doesn't matter what he has to say, because we pushed our buttons. Honestly, I loved what I heard, and, you know, it is definitely stiffer competition this year, and I think we're all being that much more guarded and that much more picky, and as soon as you came on that stage and I heard, I didn't know what was behind me, but I heard that soulful little ad-lib in the low end, and then you really gave me that rasp up there, and I loved it. Loved it.
Thank you.
You're already wearing the team colors, red and black.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I picked you. Simple.
You're the type of person that I have been sitting here waiting for. That is the voice I've been sitting here waiting to hear.
Thank you.
You're the type of singer that makes me excited about what I do, and your voice makes me want to push myself to be that much better of a singer.
Ooh, that's good.
Hey,
that's good. That was good.
I'm a believer.
I mean, I think that I would understand you vocally, and also I have the time and attention to give you, as I'm not touring or anything like that, you know.
I cleared my schedule this time around.
Oh, really?
To give my full and total undivided attention, you know, to this show and to this team.
Right now.
I was the first person to push
You
my
were.
Speaking of the touring world, the person that I picked from my team last year, Dia Frampton, is on tour with me right now. So, speaking of touring,
With an artist like Dia Frampton, he's spending a lot of time promoting her, whereas you have someone like me who isn't promoting someone right now. So, you know, I have time and attention in the recording studio. I'm in LA. I'm not off touring.
All right. Okay. Who's going to take me to the end of this thing? I need this so bad.
Do what you feel.
Christina, I'm so sorry. I love you. I have to go with Blake. He was the first one to turn.
I love you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right. Well, I think she really wanted Adam, but Adam didn't turn around, so I think she made a nice choice. Probably would have been a better fit with Christina because of her voice, but she's in good hands with Blake. What do you think, Allison?
I think the boobs are distracting. I think Christina Aguilera's boobs have gotten like 9 times bigger.
Leave my girl alone, please.
I mean, I love her, but what happened here? It was all like...
Leave my girl alone. I love Christina. But anyway, listen, as far as the winner of the tickets tonight, I'm going to go with Ken Ryan. Ken, you got the show started off on the right foot as far as the questions with Allison. Love what you had to say. You were patient enough to wait on the phone. So send us an email to contact@acorn.tv or through Facebook. Let us know your name and address where to send the tickets. Ken Ryan, you get the tickets. All right.
Nice of you.
Now,
he's a good guy. He's really a good
now, are you a fan of The Voice? Are you watching it?
You know, I do. My problem is my DVR is full because I work so many nights.
You have to delete some stuff.
I know I have to delete. I need some time I need some time off to go down. So sometimes, like at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll be going down to.
Oh, that's when I watch a lot of my stuff. Is at 3 in the morning.
And you know, the thing is with The Voice, like I hate to say that I don't want to get hooked into these shows.
I love it.
But you watch it and you just are like, go, and then like The Voice, when nobody turns around, and I'm like, just turn around. Somebody turn around. I
know, it's sad.
What? No, come on. Can we talk about our boobs at all?
Well, you did.
They're huge.
What more do you
They're
want to say?
bigger. Because I think we need to call it the obvious.
But again, who cares?
Maybe she bought those boob things from me when I was on TV.
I don't know, but
chicken cutlet
But
things.
the girl can sing.
The girl can sing.
But I started this off. This is our Always Chasing Rainbow segment, and I started off by saying we're gonna deviate a little bit. I always have a Judy Garland number, and here's a girl, Jordis. When I saw her perform that song on TV, I recognized her instantly because I'm such a fan of these singing competitions. And one of my favorite singing competitions, which we don't have anymore, was Rockstar in Excess, and then the second year it was followed up by Rockstar Supernova. But nevertheless, I remembered this girl from 6 years ago in 2006, I believe it was. Might have been 2005, actually. So it was 2005. So really, this is almost 7 years ago now. And her name was, again, Jordis Unga, same girl. And at that time, she was only 22. So, and she was.
Wait a minute, this is the same girl?
Same girl from almost 7 years ago, 6.5 years ago, on Rockstar in Excess. And I thought that, she should have won that year. They went with a guy who wrote a great song that year. But, I mean, what did you really hear of? The whole competition was to see who's going to be the new lead singer for Rockstar in Excess.
Now, I remember this now.
Hutchins had died, and so they were looking for a new lead singer. And it was a Mark Burnett show, and it was brilliant.
I do remember, and it's not around anymore.
No, it's not. And it was a great show. It was more rock style.
Show.
And this girl from Minnesota, Jordis Unga, was amazing. And I was a fan of hers then, but she didn't achieve her dream. And she went to L.A., and maybe she's singing in clubs or whatever. But this is what Always Chasing Rainbows is all about. She's still chasing that dream. You heard her say on the clip right there, I need this so bad. So now she's got to be 28, maybe 29, and she's still chasing it. And, sometimes people say, well, like all these kids who got cut tonight from American Idol, well, they had great exposure. They're all going to get contracts. That's really not true. I mean, you can go almost all the way and even win it and not be a hit. So it's not always true. And here's a girl that's still pursuing her dream. She's still singing her heart out. And that's why I wanted to feature her tonight. And I do have a clip of her.
Oh, you do from the original?
From almost 6.5 years ago. Did you have a comment you wanted to make?
No, I mean, I was going to say that I think it's interesting that if you think back and say, how many seasons has American Idol been on?
11. This is season 11 now.
Can you name all 11 winners?
Well, we know Kelly Clarkson won the first one. I think, was it Ruben that won the second? I'm not sure. Maybe Ruben stuttered the second. I think, what's her name? Fantasia Barrino might have been the third. I know that... what's his name? Taylor Hicks, I think, might have been season 5 or 6. I remember David Cook. He won one year. This is a tough question. Last year, of course, was Scotty McCreery.
Gosh, you're almost there.
No, it's tough.
But my point is,
Chris Allen won one year.
Oh yeah, Chris Allen. I liked him.
I liked Adam.
Who else?
Carrie Underwood, of course.
Carrie. You know, she's the most famous.
Yeah, and that's my girl.
She's great.
Carrie Underwood's my girl.
But here's the thing that's interesting is that even when you make it to the top, it's hard to remember all of them.
That's right.
Let alone, even being in the top 20, it's almost impossible to remember them.
Well,
except that kid from American Idol tonight. He was really good.
The one who got kicked off?
Yeah, what's his name?
Reed Grimm. Very
like
talented,
him.
but not commercial. And he really, for his Sing for His Life song tonight, he really made a dumb choice. He went real jazzy.
I liked it.
No, Daughtry did not win, but nice try out there.
I like the Phoenix.
But this is Jordis, that same girl. She's still chasing her dreams. This is her almost 7 years ago on Rockstar In Excess when she did not make it. And here she is. Check her out.
Jordis Unga.
Mama, take this badge off me, 'cause I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark for me to see. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Yeah, yeah. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Hey, yeah. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Oh, yeah. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Just like I did so many times before. Mama put my guns in the ground, 'cause I can't shoot them anymore. The long dark cloud is coming down. Oh yeah, I feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Hey yeah, knock knock knocking on heaven's door. Hey yeah, knock knock knocking on heaven's door. Oh yeah, knock knock knocking on heaven's door. Just like I did so many times before. Oh yeah.
Wow, nicely done, Ronnie, on the Judy Garland pictures. And there she was, man, 7 years ago, or 6.5, and she's still chasing her dreams, and I'm still chasing my dreams, and I hope you're all still chasing your dreams. So, Allison, thanks for coming.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
It was great.
Thanks for tuning in.
And until next week, I'm Larry Megan. Peace, love, and all good things.
Thank you.
Chillin' with Larry Megan.